Good smile. Good smile. Hello. Here we are. It's again another Thursday night. We're here making video live
poetry.
Live poetry. I got my friend David Alima here, Master Creamer David Alima from Baltimore's The Chamery Ice Cream. Is it ice cream company, ice cream shop? What is it? It's all like
The Chamery.
Right on, brother. Right on. So how's it going this week?
I have to admit, it's getting better.
Yeah?
A little better all the time.
Oh, right on. What's making it better? Anything interesting?
The weather's kind of perfect. It's just, there's just some sort of lightness in the air again.
Oh, that's true. That's true. For those of you who aren't in Baltimore, like those of you who may be coming from the West Coast where it's like 100, 130 degrees, here in Baltimore, it's been like beautiful, like
Moderate.
80, 75, 80. Like this morning when I got out of the house and I went to the car, I actually thought about putting a jacket on.
Gorgeous. Best time of the year.
Gosh.
Best time of the year.
And then I looked at the phone and it was 63 degrees. I was like, 63 degrees. Holy moly, I can't believe it. So we're here. The weather's lovely. And we're ready to, we should make coffee, right? We're making coffee because that's what we're doing tonight here. So tonight's coffee is the Finca San Isidro. Is this going to work? This should be, you can get it. There we go. The Finca San Isidro, it's a natural processed coffee from Costa Rica and made by Edgar Urena and from the Tarrazu Valley. And the interesting thing is that they own the processing center, which we call a beneficio, as well as the farm itself. And so the beneficio is called El Pilon. And El Pilon is a really interesting beneficio, which means basically wet mill processing center. And these guys have built basically the only natural process wet mill in Costa Rica. And I think pretty much in all of Central America. But, you know what this is the one thing that I forgot to do this morning. Before we started, I need to grind the coffee.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
I'll keep them entertained.
Tell them a little bit of entertainment. Yeah.
All right. So my name is David. For those that don't know, new here, not from Baltimore, I own a ice cream shop, ice cream company. We started out of a tiny little shop in Hamden, which is how I met Jay. Jay's shop, Spro, was on the same street that my shop is on, and the way that the seriousness and the gravity in which he treats coffee is something that appealed to me and something I really admired in him and something that I feel about ice cream. So we became fast friends. I realized he is a fellow frozen dessert entrepreneur. He used to own legend has it, the best snowball stand in Baltimore. Snowballs in Baltimore are not like your regular carnival level snowballs with the thick crunchy ice and the blue syrup. Here they are very smooth ice, mellow syrups, and if done well are a frozen confectionery delight. I've never had Jay's snowballs, but one day I hope to. One day I hope to do a little Jay's pop-up at one of the Chamery shops. We've been talking about that for as long as we've known each other, probably about 7 years. So we started off with one shop in Hamden, and we went about 3 years ago now, we opened a factory. And we opened a factory in what's called the Union Collective. It's with a bunch of other producers of enjoyable things in Baltimore. There is a distillery of which we will talk. I'm sure we'll discuss a little later because I brought some for us to sample.
All right.
And a bunch of other great Baltimore brands. And then with that, we opened a shop in Towson. And this summer, we opened a shop in Fed Hill. And we are working hard now to get a shop open in Columbia. So we're just cruising along, creaming along. I don't want to say that. Not creaming along.
Oh, too late now.
Where's the rewind on this, Jay?
That's the thing with live. So if you're watching, don't forget to drop your name, drop your stuff, questions and comments in the comments below. And yeah, I forgot to. I can't believe I forgot to actually do the.
I mean, he had everything set up
it was
here
all
so
set up
beautifully. There's lights. There's these beautiful microphones. One thing you forgot was the coffee.
I can't believe it. So we've got the Chemex, as you can see. The Chemex is that fancy 1940s brewing device by the guy. He actually a guy named Schlumbaum.
Named what?
Schlumbaum.
Schlumbaum.
Yeah. And he created this in the early 1940s.
First name or last name?
Last name. I forgot his first name at the moment. It's terrible. I really should know that.
Joe? Joe Schlumbaum?
Joe. I think it was Joe. And Joe decided that he was going to make coffee. And so he decided to make this thing called the Chemex, or as a lot of our friends in the Latin countries say, Chemex.
Chemex.
They like the Chemex. But what we're doing is we're going to be rinsing the filter. So the Chemex is really, in my opinion, the
Rolls Royce.
The Rolls Royce. Well, people talk about. I think I've said this. I probably said this on each of the live streams, that people like to use different filters, like metal filters. But to me, the Chemex is really about this paper filter, because it's made from their own proprietary pine-based blend of fibers, and I don't know. They don't tell us, so it's that trade secret kind of thing, you know.
I like it.
Yeah, exactly. So there we are.
If you've ever chewed on the filter, there's a slight nuttiness to it, which makes me think that maybe they're using some koa wood in there.
Oh, koa wood. It'd be much more expensive then.
Yes, it would.
Actually, that's something I'm working on coming up soon. Is in maybe a week or 2 weeks, maybe this weekend. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But when you say chewing on it, I'm actually working on a video where we're going to be
eating filters.
Essentially eating filters, man.
Please, and I got invited to this one. You know how much I like it. That's my style.
We'll do that. And I can't see what I'm doing. So, but we're just going to use the Force. This is called Force Brewing. We're pre-wetting the brew. One of these days, I'm going to get the whole like multi-camera thing we can see above.
Like the
That'd be
Matrix.
Amazing.
You should get the camera all around, 360 Matrix style.
Yeah. The problem is my laptop is not up to the challenge.
Time for a new laptop.
What I should have done is signed up for the unemployment with the extra $600. Man, I could have bought a new laptop in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Instead, I kept working.
Me and you both. Business ownership is a joy.
Are we eligible for that at all?
No.
Aren't you an employee of your company, though?
No, the company is an employee of us. I love the shot. It's the red, and then your face just right behind it. Really,
oh, nice.
Really gorgeous framing right there.
Thank you. It's very kind. All right, so we're using the Chemex to brew our coffee. We're using 48 grams of coffee and about 750 milliliters of water.
Jay, quick with that math.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm very, 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 very MIT-ish in that respect.
I still forget how many ounces in a gallon. That's like something
really?
I use almost every day, and I can't enter that.
Do you have to Google it?
Yes.
How many grams? Oh, and a gallon. I don't know that one.
See? You stumped yourself. Trying to sound all fancy. You stumped yourself.
But I do know there's 128 ounces in a gallon.
Correct.
And 453.2 grams in a pound.
Respect.
Not bad for an American educated guy to know the metric stuff.
I was more of an English and poetry major. Creative writing. Marketing, creative writing. I would do everything I could. You know, it's interesting, though. When I went to University of Maryland, I got to meet a lot of the athletes because my math level was so poor. I was in what they called rocks for jocks.
So they were teaching you how to do math?
No, it was a
That would be something. You're so bad.
Juan Dixon.
That's terrible. What are you saying? We should never say that the athletes can't do math. They can do math.
No, that's
Especially
not
when they
what
get
I applied.
millions.
Lots of math. Yeah.
So you met a lot of them in the special ed courses.
No, it was not special ed.
Oh,
it
not
was
special.
A little.
Okay.
It was just a little. It was intro, beginner courses.
Oh, okay,
So,
okay. You said University of Maryland?
Well, I started there, and then I ended at Ithaca College.
Oh, it's gorgeous up there. I heard.
Up in the hills of the basking in the shores of Lake Cayuga.
Is it called Lake Cayuga?
There's one. It's the Finger Lakes.
I just heard it's gorgeous.
It sure is.
So,
that marketing, by the way, was done by a Park School graduate.
really?
Not me, but
Oh, did you know that so Park School is a school in the Pikesville area of Baltimore?
Different. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
no.
Park School is the communication school at University of. At Ithaca
Oh,
College.
never mind.
But yes, also there is a Park School.
Oh, sorry. I don't know anything about the University of Maryland. But I used to live behind Park School of Baltimore. Like when the house that I grew up in Pikesville, you went from our backyard and you just walked, like hiked down, it would be Park School.
So did you get to use their athletic fields for?
Well, it was a long hike for me.
Frivolity.
I was like, it was like 50 yards. I'm not. All right, so we're here, and the coffee is almost ready. That's enough.
Whoa. Jay's gonna invite me to the live stream where we have to chew on used coffee grounds.
Yes, that'd be a good one. All right, so some of this is San Isidro, the El Pilon, natural process from Costa Rica. Here you are, David.
Thank you, my friend.
It's going to be a little bit hot. So those of you who may know about coffee, it's really hard to get the flavors fully when it's really hot. So it's nice to let it cool down a little bit. Maybe hit it with a little bit of milk. Oh. I do put milk and sugar sometimes.
It smells really nice.
Does it? Oh, good. What do you get out of that aromas?
Some like fig, some chocolate.
Fig. Okay. Yeah.
So I spent some time in Sonoma County and wine country, and one thing I learned from there is that what you're smelling is never wrong.
You mean what you think?
What you're thinking about, never be afraid of sounding stupid when you say what you smell, right? Like there are certain notes that are probably inherent to this, but if I smell fig, I'm smelling fig. Like you should never be bashful about talking about what you're. Like everyone's olfactory processes things a little differently.
I mean, so because David used to work at a winery called, what's it called? Foresight.
Thank you. Yes.
And a Foresight Winery, that's in Sonoma, or that was in?
That was in Anderson Valley, Mendocino County.
Okay, so in Anderson Valley, so he's done a lot of like wine tasting, and so in the world of coffee, there's a lot of course coffee tasting. And do you find in wine? Because I've seen it in coffee where. And you must see it because since you brought that up, that people are kind of judgmental about others when they're talking about what they're perceiving.
Well, right, because there's what's written on the bag, right? So if I read the bag, it might not mention like figs might be out of left field, but when I smell it, there's this smell, and you're trying to hone in on what that smell is, and to me, that processed as figs, that can't be wrong because it's what I'm smelling, right? That's what right. But if you say that there is sort of a kind of expectancy of what you're supposed to say. And if you say that it smells like this, then you're right. And if you say it smells like that, then you're wrong. But I've heard the most, worn leather, leather saddles, a barnyard, anything you can think of, brambleberries. I've never even heard of a brambleberry, but I'm sure grape smells like it because it's a berry as well. But it's just like, that's always what I felt is that I would, I had a dream of retooling the entire wine industry, and instead of talking about smells as and taste as kind of compared to other things, I wanted to talk of it as experiences. Like, oh, this smells like a porch in Georgia. It's like thick, hot humidity all around. This wine cut right through it.
And then there's everybody who's kind of
with it,
looking at you like you're weird or something.
Yep. Well, I'm used to that.
Well, that's true. But I think that's important because like people are always feeling intimidated. Like when I hold like coffee tasting with people, and I encourage them to like, if you taste something and you think it tastes like blue,
right?
Well, then it tastes like blue. I mean, or even I've had people even describe it in terms of like music, like it tastes like Led Zeppelin.
I like that.
I'm like, damn, that's got to be some taste there, Led Zeppelin.
And the secret is if I say figs, right, and then you smell it with figs in mind, you're probably going to be like, huh, I do get that.
Right.
Because it's the thought of association and like, whatever it was that made me say figs.
Right. Yes. I can see that, which is conversely why, like when we're tasting coffee critically, like for purchasing and evaluation, we really observe a tone of silence so that doesn't happen. So as everybody's compiling their notes, if you're standing next to me like it tastes like figs, and I'm like, maybe it tastes like kumquats, but I'm like, okay, right. It tastes like figs,
right.
And so that way we try to get a little bit more of a unbiased,
I like that
flavor. All right, so let's get into the cigar because that's another area where people taste stuff and they're like, oh no, it doesn't taste like that, and you don't know what you're tasting. So this is the PDR Cigars, Abe Flores Serie Privada, 1975, Capa Maduro. Can this work? Will this zoom in?
There's a focus.
There's actually a feature that's supposed to work, but let me see if I can adjust it. Sorry, guys, I'm going to adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. And this is, that should work now. There we go.
Oh.
The Serie
Look,
Privada,
you did
1975.
You did it, Jay.
Yeah, I like that. And so this is the new package. Thank you. This is the new banding. So Abe Flores is the owner of PDR Cigar, Pinar Del Rio. Actually, in the show notes, I said it was the SP54. This is actually the SP52, the Robusto size. So it's a little bit shorter. It is a 5x52 cigar.
I love this size.
It's a nice size.
This is I like this size, and I really like the long, skinny ones.
The Lancero. Oh yeah, those are nice. So before he just had these kind of matching like blue-ish bands that had a similar logo of this. But now he's got a. Oh, come on, zoom in. Did I get it? No.
I think my face is too handsome. It doesn't want to unzoom.
This is not working. Oh, well, forget it. Anyway, but he's got this whole big sleeve on it now. Now, this cigar is actually, this cigar is actually one of my favorite cigars of all time. So it's a Ecuadorian Habano Maduro wrapper with Nicaraguan Habano binder, and then the filler is Nicaraguan Habano and Dominican Corojo filler. If that means that. There's 3 different sizes, a 52, a 54, and a 58. And they're both in 5x52, 6x54, and 7x58. And this one is support. Well, how much did this one cost? So I got this from my friend Tony at Mount Washington Cigars. And this was, is that the one? $10.79.
That's it, Jay.
That's not bad.
That's all I'm worth to you?
I know.
I thought you were going to get one of the heavy hitters, back of the humidor, the secret shelf style.
I know. But, we just got the cheap one.
I like it.
So not a bad cigar. I mean, not a bad price. How does it smell to you? What do you think?
I'm getting one thing very strongly, and that, to me, is apricots.
Yes, yes. There's a strong sweetness.
Yeah, it's like this sweet, fruity, like it smells really delicious.
Wow, that is interesting. All right, shall we cut? We've got our official cutter, the MTX by Zycar.
Sponsored.
It's not a sponsored.
Well,
I had to buy it. I bought it myself. Maybe one day Zycar will sponsor us and throw us a few cutters our way. All right, excellent, excellent. So if you're out there, let us know what you're smoking. We'd like to know or where you are and what you're doing. If you're drinking something, tell us what you got. If you want matches or
what do you recommend?
lighter. It's up to you, man. It's personal preference now.
Well, I like them all. Give me I like matches.
All right, very good. Matches for you. These are the last week's PG matches. I'm going to use the G4000.
Oh my god, I didn't realize I had the G.
This is the Jetline G4000.
Woo.
Very serious about power. No.
I need that. I need that. I didn't
But
realize.
be careful. It's very, very dangerous. It's very dangerous.
No, I'm ready.
So press this. So here, let me show you. Press. There's a safety. You have to, this red lever, you have to push down.
Down.
Right?
Got it.
And then forward.
It's like a creme brulee torch.
Exactly. Exactly. The wrapper is sweet, but not like a sweet tip like the Sobremesa Toro, Brulee Toro we tried the other 2 weeks ago. It's a different, very, very apricot, like you said, very apricots. Okay, now the problem with this lighter is it's such a big torch that I've actually kind of singed the side of cigars before because I lost control of it. So you do have to be careful. But the nice thing is that you can actually adjust it so that you can use one
That's awesome.
or two. The downside, though, it blows through butane like you would not believe.
You need a tank setup.
Oh, my gosh, it's crazy. Like a remote tank setup would be a good thing. How's that starting out for you?
Pretty great.
I think it's a little bit uneven.
Definitely a little uneven. Thank you, chef.
Thank you, chef. I think I'll test this out. All right. How's that starting out?
Pretty delightful.
I think you need a little bit more on that one.
On this side?
Yeah, yeah. Maybe use the matches.
Yeah,
a little
I'm
bit.
afraid of singeing my eyebrows.
Let's look at the mailbag. I got this in the mail yesterday. Today or yesterday. It's this tube from RoMa Craft. But it has don't look at that. Don't look at that. It has a shirt size on top. And so I saw the shirt size and I was like, a t-shirt, that's awesome. But you pick it up, man, and it's super heavy. You feel that?
No,
is that a t-shirt? Would you? I mean, that's don't show them.
I'm not sure.
You're showing them the size of the shirt.
Now,
if you want to buy me a t-shirt, that's the size. Okay,
are we talking coffee or are we talking cigar?
Well, this is supposed to be a t-shirt.
Coffee or cigar?
Well, this is cigars. RoMa Craft is a
RoMa.
cigar.
Oh, I didn't
yeah,
hear
yeah.
you say RoMa.
Yeah, there's a cigar company down in Austin, Texas, and but this is all part of the Weasel Fest stuff they're sending us. And Weasel Fest.
Now you get free t-shirts as an influencer?
No. You have to pay for it. You have to.
Not yet. One day, you guys, all of you here now are at the humble beginnings.
Humble.
All of a sudden, he's going to be wearing sponsored hats, sponsored T-shirts. Oh, this torch is sponsored by everything sponsored.
Yeah, I gotta get some water.
Sponsored by Pepsi Cola.
There's another
Coca-Cola,
RoMa Craft thing. Look at that.
Really?
Yeah, look at that. That's pretty nice, huh?
That is nice.
They sent this to me. That was very nice. Anyway, so it's Eco Vessel, so it's not It's not Hydro Flask, so no one can pick on me.
And
But there's this thing called Weasel Fest, and it's supposed to be their 10th anniversary. They had to postpone it, but they were going to have this like whole thing of like music. You would have loved it, like this music festival at their headquarters with like known acts. I don't know them because I'm not very well versed in music, but I think you would have totally known cigars, barbecue. I mean, it was going to be in Austin.
You would have invited me.
It was supposed to be September 5th.
We would have gone.
Yeah, but they got canceled. So,
for those that don't know, Jay is an excellent travel companion. If ever you get the opportunity, Jay and I and my wife traveled to throughout Mexico City together.
That was a good time.
It was a good time. Jay knows all the secret little spots. Great travel, buddy.
Oh, thank you. That's very kind.
One day soon, hopefully.
One day soon. So they give a look at that. There's a Garrison Brothers distillery.
Look,
shot glass. That's kind of cool.
Huh? It focused.
Yeah, look at that. Can you see that? Nice. What else do we have in here? We've got posters. That's what's so heavy. That quite good
at that.
Only the left hand. Oh, there's posters. Oh, Weasel Fest poster.
12 hours.
12 hours cigars and music.
Cigars and music. Let me see the.
Oh, here you can look. Maybe it puts the list of the small Weasel Fest. Huh? Not bad. Nice. Oh, the T-shirt. Here's the T-shirt. Look, I got some swag to wear. Weasel Fest shirt.
It's pretty cool.
In medium, because I'm very svelte.
That is a medium.
This is what I'm gonna. Medium is what I wear to my yoga class. This is not coming out.
Scarface.
Did they say? Oh yeah, Scarface was the guy from Houston, right? He was like one of the headliners.
He was in Scarface. Amazing MC. My mind is playing tricks on me.
The Neanderthal poster.
Awesome.
That's kind of awesome, huh?
It's a great poster. Ghetto Boys. Thank you.
Oh.
Now you've just lost all the value in the poster.
Terrible. Cro-Magnon. That's nice.
Are these cigars?
Oh, it has the release dates really cool. Too. That's nice.
That's a great poster.
That's a great one, huh? And then what else do we have? There's something here. I can't get.
Can I ask you a question, Jay?
Yes, of course.
So during this time of during our time of pandemic quarantine, known fact, the collecting markets have been going crazy. Okay, so sports cards values have been skyrocketing. Vintage toys skyrocketing.
Really?
Because people are getting this extra 600 and people are bored and they are, I mean, I'm speaking for myself here as well. They are buying happiness, all right? Because we're not getting our happiness through live music or any of the other things that make us happy. Travel, right? Hanging out with our friends, all these things that we've been so severely limited in. People are like finding joy through retail therapy.
My cousin's exactly like that.
Has there been something that you found yourself buying more?
No, yes and no. I mean, mainly it's what I've been buying is more stuff to make the YouTube channel happen. That's really
right.
Some of the tech behind that.
We were talking earlier about not just buying things, but like the like things that we're trying to take. I've been working on a podcast and learning how to use GarageBand and iMovie, and you've been doing this stuff. It's just been an interesting time, I think, where people are trying to like at least come out of this and be like, well, I've acquired a new skill or I've acquired a collection. I've been collecting a very niche thing.
Oh, what's that?
Are you familiar with the band Fish?
I'm familiar. Yes.
I've been collecting pins based on their songs.
Who's making that?
Fans.
Fans. Okay.
And it's incredible. I was up 2 nights ago watching an auction for a pin that was actually a Grateful Dead themed one, and one pin went for $2,000.
$2,000.
An enamel pin like this size, $2,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
Right? But I see someone in the comments is talking about cigar sales as well.
Oh yeah. Brian Major saying cigar sales are skyrocketing.
It makes me think, like, the thing I've been thinking a lot about is, like, through this time is, like, who is winning and who is losing, right? So obviously restaurants, coffee shops, ice cream shops, we're losers. I mean, we are.
Wah, wah, wah.
But, you know, there are companies out there that are winning. Our friend Mr. Ming, who has Asian taste, a Chinese food carryout restaurant.
Are they killing it?
They are killing it because they're set up.
I thought people were scared of the Chinese virus.
Well, not in Baltimore.
Oh, okay.
In Baltimore, a little.
No, they were, man. I went to a Galaxy dim sum right before COVID hit, or right when it was starting.
That was a weird time.
People were
right.
like, I've never been able to go in and get a seat right away. It's like, wow, this is amazing.
Where is this Galaxy?
It's over on Route 40 by Rolling Road in Catonsville.
Not Galaxy. The only one I've been to there is what's the other dim sum place?
Not that one. Yeah, Galaxy is the one next to the Walmart and the Giant.
Okay,
that's just right inside the Beltway or outside the Beltway.
I was in H Mart about 2 weeks ago. I needed to get a 40 pounds of ube, and it was packed. H Mart was packed to the brim with people. So
I went there yesterday. I went there yesterday. 2 days ago.
Busy?
No, empty. Perfect to go there. Great.
Nice.
Great.
I know. That's the thing. You want to go to empty supermarkets now. Weird times, my friend. Weird times indeed.
That it is. Tony likes the shirt. It's a nice shirt. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I like those posters. Those are really well done.
So this is smoking pretty well, I think. It's still very sweet.
It's very sweet, which I like. As an ice cream man myself, I certainly have a ferocious sweet tooth, which has never really been satisfied by a cigar before. But
no,
you know, I'm never like, don't want a piece of pie or a cigar.
You know, you should try the one we did 2 weeks ago on the show. It's called the Sober Mesa Brulee Toro.
Brulee.
Yeah, so it actually is. It's a Connecticut wrapped cigar, so it's a pretty light colored wrapper. But the tip is really like sweet.
Like a Swisher Sweet.
Well, it's funny you say that because
next week.
Well, no. The guy that makes it used to run a company called Drew Estates.
Oh, Drew Estates, which did acid?
Right, exactly. And Drew Estate was bought by Swisher.
Amazing.
So, but the other cigar was, it does have a sweetness to the tip. And the owner, Steve Saka, says that it's a natural thing.
They might dip it in a little bit of.
I don't know. I mean, like when we were tasting it, you know, it is a pleasant sweetness. It's not like Swisher Sweets or some of these other ones that are like cloyingly sweet. It was a real light sweetness. But if you lick the rest of the wrapper, like I licked the rest of the wrapper to see, it was only at the tip. So
interesting. Maybe a little simple syrup dunk.
Could be, or brush. So, for those of you, what are you smoking? Let us know. Interested to see what you're smoking out there, or what you're drinking, or what you're doing. We're just sitting here, drinking coffee,
having a conversation.
Both are sweet, nice and fruity. Nice.
Yeah, it's a great coffee.
What I found with this cigar, right? I've always thought of this as my number 2 favorite cigar because I like the sweetness, I like the complexity, I like the it's a really light spice, but I like the nuance of it. The problem that I've had with this cigar is that most cigars that I smoke nowadays are Tatuaje or RoMa Craft or cigars that tend to have more oomph, right? And the times when I've smoked this as my second cigar,
it doesn't hold up.
Oh man, it was just like a waste of money. I was like, oh.
No, it's really pleasant right now.
I think to really enjoy this needs to be your first, like when your palate is fresh.
See, I'm a one cigar man.
Oh, okay.
So for me, this is perfect.
That's because you have a life.
No. It's just what my palate can take. to be honest. We recently went away. We went to a cabin in Cherry Hill Park, 45 minutes away.
Where's that? Cherry Hill Park?
It's like right by College Park.
Oh, okay.
But it's a campsite and they have cabins and a giant swimming pool. So I have 2 children. We took the kids there, and I was smoking cigars outside. I smoked a big Nat Sherman timepiece masterpiece.
Okay, yeah, masterpiece, huh?
That really did it for me.
You better get some more of those because they're going away.
Really?
Nat Sherman just announced 2 weeks ago they're going out of business.
It's too bad.
They're not going to. They're staying in business, but they're exiting the cigar business.
Interesting. So they're going more of a lifestyle business.
I don't know lifestyle, but definitely they're going to stay with more
Clocks
cigarettes.
Cigarettes.
Because cigarettes is one of their big businesses.
Huh. I'll have to stock up. That was one of my first real cigars I ever had. So I think it has a good memory in my mind as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Jay really introduced me to good cigars.
Oh.
You know, I enjoyed cigars, but when we started hanging out back in the early days of the Chamery, when I couldn't really leave the shop much, I'd go over to Spro and we'd sit on the back porch and smoke cigars. Actually, the front porch.
Sometimes the front, the front. We go up front. That's good time. Especially when the weather's like this. Nice to sit outside and just kind of chill.
Fall, autumn cigar. Maybe we should bring it back. Want me to turn it on?
What's that?
The fan?
Yeah, turn the fan on, and then Brian says that we need to put some more light on your hair because you're kind of falling into darkness. You were born into darkness back there. So we're going to make some adjustments here.
I like falling into the darkness. It's all for you.
Actually, I can't hit it. Look at that thing. Your bush is so dark.
Okay, be easy.
Hang on. Keep talking. Entertain our crowd. And
yeah, I remember we used to go visit Raul. Where's his shop located?
In Jessup.
In Jessup, we'd go smoke cigars in Jessup, and there was a really stellar Hawaiian food.
Oh, in Arbutus.
In Arbutus that had a fire. That was. You want me to just clip it right on the hair?
Man, that's not even working.
Yeah, just stay there, Jay.
There you are. That's perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, the COVID hair. You're absolutely right. There's been certain, we find
that works. All right, good.
We try to find joy where we can. I mentioned fish pins. This reminds me when I was but a young boy traveling this fair country of ours, seeing
Did you travel
jam
to follow
bands.
Fish?
I did.
Really?
I did.
How many shows have you seen of Fish?
Probably 60 to 70.
You've seen 60 to 70 Fish shows?
Well, look, now...
So Fish is like the new generation's...
Grateful Dead.
Grateful Dead, okay.
But they are more rock-based, whereas Grateful Dead is a little more folk music-based.
Right.
And I'm a fan of the Grateful Dead as well, but missed the train there. I don't know, man. It's just fun. And now I go 2 times a year because they come to Merriweather, or I use it as an excuse to travel to places I wouldn't normally go, where the music holds less of an appeal. The music they're currently making isn't really what I love.
Okay.
It's nostalgic for me, and it's also always a fun time.
All right.
But yeah, I love traveling to see music. We went to see a Tool in Chicago last year. We went to. It's one of just to travel to see music is something I love to do.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's something I'm missing a lot this summer.
So what place have you gone to see Fish that you would never have gone to, but you were surprised that you liked it?
Camden. No, I'm just kidding.
Camden, Maine?
No, New Jersey.
Yeah, Camden, New Jersey. Yeah, okay.
Virginia Beach.
Oh.
I mean, I would never have gone to Virginia Beach, really, because we have Ocean City here and some of the... but, man, I had such good memories of going to Virginia Beach and I didn't travel. They were playing enough locally, and that I never really traveled far to see them. It was only kind of
Okay.
within an hour
Well, that's
or
still
so.
5. That's still 5 hours.
Yeah, but that's also the beach.
So Tony's smoking a Hoya de Nicaragua Cabinet Figurado. That's nice. That's a nice
Okay.
one. Yeah, sure. Or here, whatever.
I remember
there's
something.
choices for you.
I always remember something. Me and you, we were sitting at Faders in Towson, and Sarah was with us.
Sarah Walker.
Oh. And I went over and I
that's
ashed
right,
my cigar. And she's like, "What are you doing? You're not supposed to ash a cigar." I was like, "I ash."
That's when Tony used to work there.
That's when Tony used to work there.
And I think that was the time we were actually doing the blending for Fratello Cigars.
That's exactly what
it was.
For the
coffees. So yeah, that was a good time.
She yelled at me for ashing. Guess what? I'm sorry if it's blasphemy in the cigar world. Sometimes I just give it a little
Sometimes
tap.
it's all right. It's all right. So, man, it's been a while since that was like 7 years ago now, 2013.
And now Sarah owns right next door to me a Vent Coffee. Coffee.
She's gone on to start her own company, doing well. How's she doing? All right? All good?
Doing all right. That's one thing about Spro is they had a just stellar baristas come through there. A lot who have gone on to do their own things, and really it's been a cool community to watch your staff come and go. You've always had such great people. I mean, that's what the heart of what a coffee shop is.
That's true. That's true.
And an ice cream shop, for that matter, is a community gathering. But even more so, you have people who come to Spro and spend an hour, 2 hours at Spro every day.
Yes,
that's their ritual in life, and that to be able to provide that is a really nice thing.
Yeah, it is an honor. It is an honor in that respect.
It's an honor. You're right. It is an honor.
Well, it's interesting you talk about you mentioned the thing about the pins and the collectibles. That makes me wonder, like, one of our first baristas is a woman by the name of Lindsay Wales. Now she's Lindsay DeFabio.
Right.
And her husband, Nick, is a famous, like, pin maker.
Absolutely.
And that has a huge, his stuff must be, and I know she started doing it as well.
Yeah.
And she has her own line, but I have to reach out to them because I wonder if they must be exploding as well. I mean, with the collectible market.
There's a lot of, one of the big losers of COVID that I thought about recently? Bubbles. Bubble makers.
You mean like bubbles?
Who wants a ball of COVID right in their face? Like, when's the next time someone's going to blow bubbles at you?
5 years from now.
Shoot! I feel bad for all the bubble makers out there.
Gosh, I never thought about that. That's a good point. That is a good point.
But cigars are like that too. Cigars are about gathering, and cigar shops have a really like communal gathering like vibe to them as well.
Yes, agreed, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the guys you see on the chat, Tony and Brian and them, and they're all people we normally hang out with and
great guys
normally get together. Yeah, normally get together with and sit down and relax, and it's a good time. It's a good time.
It's the Obi-Wan of coffee. I agree. May I just told this memory recently, but I'd love to say it here. We were traveling in Mexico, and Jay says, "Oh, I want to take you to this little coffee shop." And it's out of the way. It's in this market. It's just it's a beautiful market with every ingredient you can want. Right in the center is this beautiful little coffee shop. And we're sitting there, and I look up. They're watching a coffee championship of some sort. I look on the TV, and there's Jay judging the competition, and the young gentleman working there recognized Jay finally, and it was just such a cool moment to see, like, Jay's like my local coffee shop guy. You forget, yes, he's the Obi-Wan of coffee, or Yoda. I like Yoda.
Yoda, that's good. That's good. I don't know about Yoda yet.
His knowledge of coffee is so vast, and it extends into other things. And I've been lucky to feed off that. We made an ice cream together that we still use that method.
Awesome. That's what you brought for us today.
I did. We use it to a little lesser degree. We don't vacuum seal it anymore. What we would do is we would take whole coffee, and we would vacuum seal it in bags and let it sit for 3 or 4 days in the refrigerator, and then strain out the coffee.
Give away all the secrets.
Oh, it's There's no secrets anymore. It's all love.
Well, the thing about that was, you know, I remember when we first started talking about doing that, you're like, well, how can we do an ice cream, coffee ice cream? My interest is like, how do we do coffee ice cream without it looking like coffee, right? Like the thing that I dislike about coffee as an ingredient is the brown. It's so brown. If you just press down and then push it, but you gotta do a little more strokey. There you go. But the brown is so like pervasive that it invades everything you do with it. So it's really, to use it as an ingredient is really, for me, frustrating. And the idea with the ice cream is, how can we do it so that we can get the flavor of the coffee, and more importantly,
keep it beautiful.
Yeah, and keep it beautiful, but more importantly, to get the accurate flavor of the coffee while it not being this brown mess. And that was, for me, the goal was not just the flavor, but to get the color.
Yeah, and if you think about it, like ice cream is the enemy of good coffee because it's cream. It's just like gallons and gallons of heavier fat percentage than even heavy cream. So how do you get a beautiful coffee flavor when your base is...
when it's pushing down on your palate. Absolutely, right. Absolutely.
So now we just kind of roughly chop the beans and let it sit in the coffee.
Oh, that gets a faster extraction then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's better. That's better.
Yeah.
Well, should we try that?
We should.
We should try it. Let's try that. So Dave brought some...
You want me to grab it?
Sure, it's right here.
Wonderful.
I have already brought it. And it's handy dandy. Show them the bag. Show them the bag. The new bag of the Chamery. So when do you get this bag?
Well,
and how do you get this bag as a customer?
Just order it online.
But does it come with so many flavors, or you just order separately? Okay,
it's ordered separately.
How much is it online?
I don't know.
Okay,
I'm not the numbers guy.
It's $50 online.
$50.
Insulated,
beautiful,
with the logo on both sides.
We did just do a special promotion. It's our 7th anniversary tomorrow.
It's running now, right? The promotion.
The promotion just sold out.
It just sold out.
We did 140 packages. It was 7 pints of ice cream. The theme was Wanderlust, so we did flavors from around the world, and it came with a bag and a cone card, and we got Bill Stevenson, who is a really talented tattoo artist.
Yes, Bill's great.
Joe, who is another talented tattoo artist, combined on this really cool logo for us that we turned into a enamel pin and a sticker. That pin game, you know, we're running that pin game.
That's awesome. All right, so we've got also some accoutrements. We've got our proper dipper.
What's the brand?
Zero.
It's the gold standard.
It's
been used in ice cream shops forever, and there's a reason why. It's like just the best.
Yeah, if you want to buy an ice cream scoop, this is the only one to buy. Zero, because basically it's but it's got all. It is the Rolls Royce of, right? Because it's got the.
It's the Rolls Royce. It's got some antifreeze.
It's got the antifreeze in it.
Cheese and crackers ice cream. I see you. It's one of my favorites too.
Yeah. Oh, they mean cheese crackers?
We do a flavor cheese and crackers.
Do you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I need to
cheddar cheese base with Ritz dust and Ritz pieces.
All right, so we've got now the whole bean ice cream. So tell us about this one. This is a different coffee.
This is our neighbors.
Event. Sarah. Oh, yeah. Good.
I would never, it's hard to move from Jay but when Jay moved farther from our shop, I like to be able to just walk over him.
So let's see. Tell us, Master Creamer, about the proper way to scoop ice cream.
Okay, now it's hard out of a pint, and especially
of course,
when it's melty like this. Now this one, I'll show you, not a particularly well strained batch. So you see it has little flecks. We try to avoid the little flecks.
But that's from the coffee.
But it's from the coffee.
Okay.
So it's like the skin, probably a little skin of the coffee. What I like that it does do is it gives it just a hint of texture, which is nice. So it's all in the wrist. You can. I kind of like to start. Well, it's hard and. Oh, it's very.
Shall I hold it?
Yeah, you hold it.
I'll hold it.
No, I got it.
Okay, yeah.
It's just soft on the edges, so I start on the edge and try to scoop my way in.
Please, sir, please.
There we go. Nice.
Nice. Oh, excellent.
Oh, there we go.
Here's yours.
I'm just gonna have a little taste.
Just a little
Just
taste.
to wet my palate.
Just a little.
Just to creamify my palate.
All right, then we've got the special plastic spoons, yellow.
Well, Jay, these are actually magic spoons.
Magic spoons. So once you put it in the chill, oh, look
We
at
like
that.
to call them in the biz reverse hypercolor. That's the official term.
How does that happen? Is there a chemical composition that does
It's not
this?
chemical. It's completely organic.
Oh. All right, so here we are, the coffee ice cream.
What's nice is that it is soft and it does. You get more of the flavor from it.
Yeah. Because it's a little bit warmer, so you get that. Definitely more of the flavor comes out.
Mm.
Do you know what coffee you guys use for this one? Do you remember?
It's a Guatemalan.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly which one.
It's nice. It's sweet. Good.
Yeah, and different batches come out differently. I remember when I first started in the ice cream world, they would tell me to avoid using real fruit and real ingredients because there would be inconsistencies between batches. And I was like, I don't think anyone cares. I think they'd rather use real, like our strawberry ice cream in the heat of the summer is certainly sweeter and more like intensely strawberry than at the fringe months of the.
Well, that's because it's better harvested, right?
Right,
Okay.
right. It's right because strawberries are better then, and that's why we don't have strawberry ice cream in the winter.
Should we put that back in the cooler?
Yes, we should.
Put that here. So what's everyone saying?
Have a bowl.
Oh, looks like you're Yeti.
We actually said that pre-COVID we'd probably 1 pint and 2 spoons. Me and Jay are friends like that.
That's right. But we can't
for illusions. For you,
we can't make it look that way now.
For you,
Bud says we should have a bowl proper 5 times the size of this one, which is true.
Next time I'll just bring a row pack.
Oh, I like that. Those are 5 gallons, right? 3, okay. So 3 gallons with this scoop, you could get.
See, math man.
90 scoops out of it. 90, right?
No way. This is a 1
3
ounce.
gallons? I thought this is a 30. This
That's
is a 30
1 ounce
scoop.
scoop.
But I thought it's 30 means you get 30 scoops out of a gallon.
Mm-mm.
No? Okay.
It's 1 ounce.
Oh, so 120. Also,
but
300. 390.
390.
Or so.
Ish. We sell these almost. We don't sell these scoops as a in the shop. You can't buy a baby. We call them baby scoops. You can't buy a baby scoop. We treat them like a topping.
Yes.
Because a lot of ice cream shops you can get one scoop is 2 flavors. Ours is not. Ours is 1 flavor. So if you want to add,
I like that touch. Usually I get the what is it? I like to get just the plain chocolate because you use that chocolate that I really love, and top it with what's the one flavor that I always get there? That it's a light colored flavor. Looks kind of like this color. You've had it for a while.
With add-ins or no add-ins?
No add-ins. I don't think so.
I don't know.
Especially when you have the brown bread.
Yeah, that was a Jay tribute flavor. He gave us the secret to that. Yeah, it was weird during this time of COVID. We've been doing a lot more like one impact it's had on our business. Flavor like cheese and crackers.
Mm-hmm.
The more avant-garde flavors have been selling so much more poorly because there's no sampling.
Oh, right. So they don't have the opportunity to taste
Right? So
before
a flavor like cheese and crackers is perfect because it is truly a delicious flavor. But if you hear cheddar cheese and Ritz cracker ice cream, I'm gonna pass, right? But if you once you taste it, oh, I'd love to try that. And you taste it, and you're like, oh my god, that's actually good. That's like not a joke. That's actually a good ice
the
cream.
cheese ice creams are very interesting.
We use it. We just today made, and I know mascarpone's cheating a little bit because it's basically dessert anyway. But today we made a ginger blueberry mascarpone.
Oh wow,
delicious! And we're about to do a tomato rhubarb ricotta. So
interesting.
yeah, that one's gonna be really interesting. We basically are making tomato water. That's
Okay.
I'm sorry, tomato water.
Water. Okay.
Pardon my Baltimore. And then
No, that's table water.
Water.
Table water. Tomato water.
Tomato water. Tomato water.
Maybe Bud can chime in with that. He'll know. Bud's got the right accent for that.
But yeah, it's been so we've like, especially now, we've been doing flavors like Oreo cheesecake that we never would have typically done, or we would have done, but not. I don't know, not really. But
are you saying you do that because it's a little bit more?
People can picture that
accessible.
in their heads, right? Like you say, Nutella Oreo. People are like, okay, I know those two flavors. I can imagine them going well together.
Have you thought much about toast cheese?
Say more.
So you know the toast cheese crackers, the orange ones with the peanut butter inside.
Oh, so yes, we have.
That's my favorite
right.
one of those.
That's a great idea. That would go well in a peanut butter base, wouldn't it?
Maybe.
Okay.
That's worth pint eating.
Right.
Have you seen? Speaking of pints and like ridiculous. Have you heard of Portillo's in Chicago?
Mm-hmm.
Have you tried that?
No. But I would.
So I just happened to find out. If I had known this when I was in Chicago last, I probably would have gone there. But Portillo's is this place that they make a chocolate cake milkshake where they take shake mix and they put a whole slice of chocolate cake with chocolate frosting, and then they blend the shit. They blend it all together.
We have done versions of that.
Okay.
For 7 years now. So we've done it with cheesecake mainly.
In a milkshake.
So we'll do a scoop of ice cream, milk, and a slice of cheesecake, or a slice of we've done red velvet cake like that as well.
Oh my God, man, that's amazing.
We've also done it recently, a Twinkie shake. So we did.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like a scoop of ice cream, maybe like a scoop and a half of ice cream, 1.5 Twinkies in there, and then we took the extra half Twinkie and like put it on the rim so you can kind of like dip it in and like.
Oh my gosh. Well, I thought they stopped making Twinkies.
It's back, baby.
It's back. Oh, that's crazy. How about chocolate tahini? Here's what Brian wants to know.
Interesting. We what was it? We just did a tahini flavor. We
dates.
did a sesame, like tahini with toasted sesame and pistachio, which was really good. But chocolate tahini. Y'all gonna make me pull my phone out. You gotta help me remember.
We'll just have the show notes. We'll have the show notes for it.
Okay, good.
Well, you know, when I was in Saudi Arabia last trip, right? These girls were like, "Hey, have you tried this?" And I was like, "What are you talking about?" They're like, "Have you tried dates with tahini?" And I was like, "Dates with that sounds gross."
Oh, that sounds.
But then she was like, "Come on, you should try this." You know, I'm not gonna say.
Jay, we'll try anything.
If you're a friendly Saudi woman, I'm not gonna say no to you, right? So I tried. Man, it is really good. It's really so. If you just take tahini, like this one they have is like in a squeeze bottle tahini, and you put on the date and you eat. Man, it is good. It's kind of like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah.
Like Middle Eastern peanut butter and jelly. Mashallah. That
sounds really good. We were debating.
That could be a taste.
Yeah.
Because they have that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We were talking about if we should make our own mascarpone cheese, but we've made our own tahini before. But it's the problem with that with if you buy a tahini, it will have garlic and a little more savory edge. Whereas if we make our own tahini, we can leave out some of the more savory elements of it.
Are tahinis in America not available without that kind of savoriness?
I haven't found it.
Okay.
There's been some that's been. There's one brand called Zoom that we've used, but again, that's super expensive.
Mm.
So we can just make it ourselves.
Is it difficult to make because the sesame seeds? Like, I mean, can you just? Do you have to melange it, or can you just like process it?
The heck out of it.
Yeah.
But it'll never be as smooth as.
So you want to get the melanger to like really kind of okay. Have you thought about buying one? I've always thought about buying one. Those little tabletop melangers.
There is so much I want to buy.
This is the problem when you get into like food stuff, is that there's so much gear that you want to get.
Chocolate date tahini.
Oh my God. That's
Sounds
crazy.
Great.
That's crazy.
Brian, write it down, baby. That sounds really nice. And that, that's been the fun part of all. And the anniversary that we just did 7 flavors from around the world and really I got to spend a lot of time like researching them and like, looking through, I couldn't think of a good, I knew I wanted a Japanese one because Japan is my number one dream travel destination. I've never been.
Oh, you've not been there yet.
And
okay.
I know it. I have it allure between.
It's very boring there. It's very boring.
Oh yeah, boring. Between the food and the artwork and the focus, there's this Japanese mentality that is like so attractive to me of like a food stand that serves one food. Yeah. And the person that makes it is making the best version of it. There's we've talked a little about snowballs, but there's a snowball stand that to me is very Japanese. It's called Elizabeth and Ziggy's. Have you ever been there?
Oh yeah, you took me there once. Yeah.
And it's this one 70-year-old man, and he takes the syrup and he long line, doesn't matter. Takes the one syrup, second syrup, bangs it, second layer, syrup. No matter how many people, doesn't matter. Everyone is made with this like focus and concentration, and it's just like I'm drawn to that.
Wow, awesome. Well, if you like that, when you finally get to Japan in Tokyo, there's a neighborhood called Yanaka, and there's a place there called Himitsudo, and they do this shape. Well, their version is called kakigori, right? And it's this. It's kind of like shaved ice. It's very like fluffy and like thin kind of ice, very snow-like. And they make this one. And they're mounded like this. They're like massive.
Oh, I've seen those.
And like the one that I got was the strawberry. They basically puree strawberries, maybe a little bit of sugar, and they just ladle it. And it's outrageous.
Now is it a strawberry like? So is it like a thick strawberry puree, or do they like?
Yeah, it's pretty thick. It's not like
water. It's not.
Yeah, it's not like we would do it. Like we'd strain it out and make it into a syrup and reduce. Not like that. Not that French style. I mean, this is like they basically blended the sucker, added sugar, and then poured.
Now, is it fresh or do they roast it?
Fresh. Everything's fresh. They did this one that the lines are really long. Like I waited like an hour in line, right? And so I don't think the protocol is that I could order a second one when I was sitting there because they were making this one called the 3 oranges. So 3 different types of oranges in this sauce. This sauce. So like I let's say like they use Valencia, Mandarin, and what's the other? What's the third
Navel.
One? Navel, and they blended it all together, and man, it just looked immaculate. I was like, oh my God.
But they must juice the oranges for that.
Oh, they do it all in, and it's small. And the crazy thing is this tiny like shop, and you sit at this bar, and everyone's packed, and it's blistering hot inside, and it's blazing inside there. You're sweating. But man, it is like, and I did a kakigori tour the last time I was in Tokyo, so I went to a lot of different places.
Jay travels well,
and I tell you what, man, this place Himitsudo, that's the one. If you're gonna go to one place, matches right here. If you're gonna go one place, that's the one to go to. Did it go out on you?
Cigar, you cigar people. I'm sorry if my cigar smoking isn't up to par. There should be. I'm sure there's some online tutorials.
But you're doing all right. You're doing all right. But speaking of food, here in Baltimore, where do you like to go out to? Okay, all right. I'm good. I'm good.
All right. My top 5 favorite restaurants.
Top time. Okay. Yeah, Brian. That's
Number 1.
exactly it.
What's that?
No, Brian was saying 3 oranges. That's his thing.
Oh yeah. Number 1, Clavel.
Clavel, yes.
I love the way that they've transformed during COVID. I don't think they should ever go back. Have you been?
I have not been able to get that.
They basically have a truck now, and you order at the truck, and you get a table number, and you sit at your table and eat your food.
Inside or out?
Out.
Okay.
Um,
So Carlos is working out of a truck?
No, they're cooking inside, but the truck is like the order point.
Okay.
Right? And you're getting a number instead of being served at a table. And you can just bang out food quicker that way, and you get your food quicker. Clavel, beautiful Mexican food. Number 2, not just because we go to your shop together, but I would also say Orto.
Oh, yeah.
Elon's shop. Beautiful Italian food. Taken to the next level. Fresh ingredients. One of my favorites.
Yeah. Excellent meals there. Excellent.
La Cuchara.
La
Cuchara. And again, these are all places that to me did a great job during, like, La Cuchara has these chef prepared foods now. They're vacuum sealed. You put them in, not some are in hot water, some are ready for the saute pan, but most of it's already pre-cooked. It's just requiring reheating. But instead of getting a hot meal, and then by the time I get the kids to bed, it gets cold, I can put it in the refrigerator and then cook it at my leisure.
How do you sense it's bagged?
They're bagged.
So you just drop it in hot water?
Some you open and saute it up, just saute it like, so they give instructions on it. You know, some you'll cover and bake over low, depending on what you're getting.
Oh, awesome.
La Cuchara. The prime rib with a caveat.
Caveat, okay.
Sit at the bar. They have, not only do they have
you don't like sitting in the dining room?
I do on special occasions, but that will always cost. You can ring up a tab there.
So you spend more if you sit down at the table than at the
Whereas
bar.
at the bar, you can get a couple appetizers. They have a separate menu. You can get a great burger, a great steak sandwich, and
that does keep the price down.
Right, and also the martinis flowing.
And they have those like their peanuts are excellent, man.
And it's just so
I think
classy.
the bar peanuts.
It's such a classy. There's an old school Baltimore feel to that place that I can't find anywhere else. Like I remember as a young kid going to Hausner's.
Oh yeah.
And getting all fancy and dressed up, and there was a feeling of like fanciness and you know. Number five
is alive.
Number 5. What's that?
Is alive.
Man, there's so many great places. God, I don't know. Come back to me. I want to hear your 5.
Oh gosh, 5. I think one of my. I mean, I don't know if I would rank them.
Or even whatever. Some of your favorites.
But I think for me, one of the most underappreciated. I think the most underappreciated chef in Baltimore is Steve Monnier. You know, his Chez Hugo, they just announced the closure of that. But his previous place, what was the name of the previous place? The one in Manhattan? Arome.
Interesting. God, that place was so good.
That place was the steal of Baltimore. 6 courses for $65, which doesn't sound like too much, but these courses were on a level that nobody in Baltimore ever did.
If that restaurant were in New York or
my gosh,
DC,
man, absolutely,
you couldn't get in.
We're talking like French Laundry level, Le Coucou, the level of like Pierre Gagnère.
It was.
I mean, we're talking truly like Michelin style cooking.
He made a taco using milk skin.
Oh,
it doesn't sound like, but when you're
that's
eating,
the Arzak technique right there.
Right.
Arzak with all that whole milk paper thing. That's amazing.
Just his style, and I felt like he was just starting to develop what his style was, he's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
But yeah, so he opened a place called Chez Hugo, what, 2 years ago?
And it was
Beautiful.
great, but it almost made me sad
Why is that?
because it just wasn't like it was a good French bistro, but it wasn't the technique driven space that he used to, and I knew he had it in him, and I was just like, I want to see.
Well, I think for that one, he kind of made it more. He wanted to be more brasserie.
Right,
So,
brasserie. That's what I meant.
But his facility, did you tour the kitchens?
Unreal.
Oh my gosh, downstairs where the poisson, the poissons were, and like all the prep. I mean, it was amazing. It was an amazing kitchen. Probably one of the best,
in Baltimore,
most well-equipped kitchens in the city.
Yep. Then some other spots. Oh, I got Dylan's.
Oh, Dylan's, of course.
Dylan's is such a great. Dylan's and Paulie G's. I'm putting them together because they're both across from the shop. They're both Hamden spots, but one is like really great pizza. And have you had?
I have not had the New York style
very
pizza.
good.
You know, the problem for me is that now with the whole COVID,
You're leaving at like.
we're only open from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. So I'm gone by like 3 or 4, and 4 o'clock is when the earliest of the restaurants will open. Most of them open at 5 or 6. So
I also love Eki Ben.
Oh, Eki Ben's wonderful.
But Eki Ben has one menu. There's some specials once in a while. So it's like I'll get a craving for Eki Ben, and I know exactly what I want to get there. You know what I mean?
The chicken.
The chicken over rice. But they have a new shrimp dish that's really great.
Oh, yes. Well, Donovan let me try this one where they duck. I think they used a duck dish. It was excellent.
Steve is a absurdly. Baltimore has some absurdly talented chefs.
Yes.
That it's such an interesting city. It felt like things were really progressing in Baltimore for a while. Probably maybe 6 years ago, 7 years ago. Right when the Chamery opened. No, but
and then it exploded.
Right. No, there was some. Woodbury Kitchen was hitting its prime with Opie there.
Oh yes.
There was There was an energy happening. Clavel just opened. There was this Le Comptoir is another spot I love.
I've not been to that.
You should. What you can do, I highly recommend this, and for all the people out there on the interwebs, that you can. They're now doing sandwiches. So you could order it to be picked up, and you could go pick it up at 2 o'clock when you leave, bring it home. It's these great. I had one today actually. It is it was a ham and butter sandwich on focaccia, but that they bake in house.
Right.
They're a pastry chef. There was a coconut cream pie I had. They had like the pizza that was on the focaccia, but like tomato and ricotta, just really beautiful. You can tell they're using great
ingredients. So Brian says burger and martini is perfection.
Absolutely. Oh God, can I do one more?
Yes, of course.
Petit Louis.
Oh, yeah, Petit Louis.
Petit Louis is such a great lunch spot. Dinner, great, but lunch they have a prefix there that is so good. And
I never get the prefix.
Oh God, it's really good.
I need to, what I usually get there for lunch. I'll go there, a glass of white wine, whatever they have, whatever Patrick wants to give me, I'll take it. And then what I just really like is some frites. Maybe it's the soup l'oignon and the oh no, what's the salad?
Lardon.
Yeah. What's
with the lardon salad with the egg.
The frisée salad.
Wait, that the one?
With the it's the frisée with the
egg,
lardons and the egg.
Oh, it's like this warm salad. It's
that's good. Brilliant. So that and frites. Sometimes just that and frites and white wine. That's all.
And you're like, I'm eating healthy. I'm eating a salad. Well, yeah. It's like bacon vinaigrette, pieces of lardon, a runny egg. So, where are your favorite places in Baltimore to get dessert?
Well, the Chamery.
Forget the Chamery.
Dessert. God, who's doing desserts? Historically, it's always been kind of that place downtown. Vaccaro's. I still think, I've been to like Ferraro's in New York City. I've been to some other places around the country. I still think the cannoli you get at Vaccaro's downtown is still the best.
Absolutely.
The stuff but the stuff that they do at the manufactured shelves that you buy like at Costco or something, different. But the ones you get downtown on the high street, that is still, I think, the best.
So good.
Are there other dessert spaces?
There's the pie shop by us.
I thought they closed.
They're back open.
Okay, good.
I have such a sweet tooth. I'm such a sucker. There's a new place called Crust by Mac. Crust by Mac, I believe. I've
had their stuff. Yes, yes.
Very nice.
Very nice. I had their strawberry tart the other week. You know, Brian, what are you asking? Where's what located? Yeah.
I believe, and it's funny. I'm thinking about this because I believe the next evolution of the Chamery is I want to have a baker, one staff, 1 day a week maybe, and just like start working on baking our own, like some interesting baked add-ins, on some interesting baked cookies. You know, ice cream cookies are so hard to perfect because they're frozen, and I want like a soft cookie with the ice cream that will hold up to the ice cream.
You mean like the commercial ones?
Yes, right.
How that holds up to the ice cream.
Yes. And we haven't been able to. We don't have anyone. We have some people who bake on our team, but not like bakers.
Now, are you thinking like for your ice cream sandwich where it's fully frozen, the ice cream?
Yeah.
But does that mean like yours is a hard pack American ice cream as opposed to like the
soft serve?
Well, as opposed to the commercial ones, like the commercial like ice cream sandwich, which is more ice milk, so it's got a less fat, more whip,
right?
You know, more overrun. Like, how do you think would you have to increase
something interesting there that I'm gonna think about is that when we're running a flavor for pucks,
right?
Maybe we increase the overrun in it. Overrun is a fancy ice cream word for air.
Yes.
Maybe we increase the overrun in it.
I mean, the best way to understand overrun in the consumer world is, you know how you go to the grocery store and there's Ben and Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs, which let's say they're $5, or just like your pint here, right? It's $5, right, at the grocery store, more or less. 10. Yours is 10, but yours is different quality.
Yeah.
But you take that pint and it says it's a pint, and I think it even says a weight on it, doesn't it, for the Haagen-Dazs?
Yeah.
Okay. But you go to like Breyers and it's also $5, but it's marked as half gallon. They're actually the same weight. So if you were to take them and weigh them, they're going to be the same, roughly the same.
And the example I like to use as well is then you have the half gallon bucket on the bottom, the generic ice cream, you know, and it's the same cost as a pint of Ben & Jerry's. The amount of dairy in that half gallon is almost the same amount as in the Ben & Jerry's pint.
So the weight's still the same.
Right. It's because they're adding air for air. The beautiful thing about air is that it's free. Right. So you can fill it, but the consistency is more of that of like a whipped cream.
Yeah, I can't stand that stuff.
I'm with you.
I can't. The only one that I like that's in the larger container, there's this one brand in Hawaii called Rosalani, and they come in like the half gallon, but it's pretty. I remember it being pretty darn thick, but the flavor was excellent. I was like, man.
When's the last time you've been to Hawaii?
5 years ago.
It's so far from here.
It's so far.
You got to almost do a Sonoma trip in there.
Yeah. Oh,
you got to do like a 2-week
Sonoma trip.
Sonoma trip. There's
last time I went to Napa was like a year or two ago, and one of my friends works for Kendall Jackson. He works for
that tiny family run.
Yeah, that's tiny. But he works for what's it, Abbey? What? The Abbey something.
One of the smaller,
and man, it's beautiful. I mean, he actually is part of the whole group that makes La Colla, like the super high end stuff. Yep. And so
Laura worked for Gallo Winery, but she worked for their specialty brands, which are basically these small wineries that they've kind of saved and purchased. And one of them was called Louis Martini, and they make a delicious Cabernet. Rancho Zabaco is another one that makes a nice Zinfandel. These kind of like specialty wine houses. Who are you? Okay, besides Foresight. Right.
Or outside of Foresight, who are some of your favorite California producers?
So I love Pinot,
Okay.
and I love that style of Pinot that Foresight makes. So for me, it's like Mary Edwards Pinot and Papa Pietro Perry, the real small like.
Oh, those are small. I'm not even familiar with those guys. Okay.
We'll have to buy some and share it together.
I'm thinking of things like Mercury and like the Prisoner from what's his name?
The Prisoner. Look, in every market there will be overpriced where you're paying for marketing, but the Prisoner is fine wine. It's fine wine. It's good wine, but you are paying for that beautiful bottle.
And their bottles are gorgeous, man.
And it's a beautiful bottle, and you're paying for it, and that's okay. It's the same thing, and I'm sure there's coffee brands where it's like, hype. They call them like hype beasts.
Yes,
right?
absolutely, absolutely.
Like there's now in the weed industry, the medical marijuana industry, there is like a hype beast brand called Cookies, right? Where like they are distributed in a few Baltimore dispensaries, and you'll get a text message, and you'll go to buy it, and it's already sold out.
But they're grown here?
No. California.
Oh, they can import from other parts of the
country?
Yes, they can. Oh, okay.
Or somehow it's through a brand it's like co-sponsored by a brand. I don't quite know the legalities of it, but I think that's good for any industry. I mean,
yes,
that Supreme is like a skate brand, and Supreme is like, I think that's the genius marketing I've ever seen.
Oh my gosh. One of my cousins is so into Supreme.
Dude,
it's crazy.
What's cool is that they take every great brand and then just put a Supreme label on it, and then it's
$300.
Right. I have a Luden's cough drop that says Supreme. That is Supreme. Like Luden's is a great brand of cough drops, right? You know what I'm talking about? The like cherry Luden's. They have I love to mess around on a melodica. Do you know what that is?
No.
It's an instrument where it's like it's like a keyboard that you blow into.
Yes. Okay.
Honer, which is also the harmonica and clarinet. They make a Supreme Honer melodica.
Oh.
It's like it's such an interesting thing that brands are doing, and like to build hype and like the quick sellouts, and it happens in fish pins, and it probably is in cigars. I'm sure there are cigar brands
yes, for sure,
where it's like they're releasing it, and it's a lot of it is about the hype and being like going to Instagram and being like, look at this cigar I got, Or like, is there a brand of cigars that offhand where it's just
that's super small? Well, I think one of the ones,
but even like isn't as good as the market is dictating, that are just kind of like catching fire, like a $2,000.
Tony, that's something I think Tony, who's watching, will know more about that.
Yeah,
I don't keep up.
How about
I'm not
coffee?
In coffee, there's always like darlings in coffee that are. Some of them are just flash in the pans, and some are from.
Like Cat and Cloud is an example where they did so much other marketing stuff. Like they did podcasts and did so much to get their name out there. Like I heard the name Cat and Cloud. I'm not in the coffee industry, but I knew of Cat and Cloud because of Santa Cruz and all this other stuff.
I remember Chris. I've known Chris Baca since he got into business. One of the owners, and
I've met.
Well, he came out here once, right? Yeah. And
he's friends with Dave Sherman.
Yes,
Dave Sherman at G&G.
That's good. They do nice stuff. Oh, so Brian wants to know, where's Le Comptoir?
Le Comptoir. It is Le Comptoir de Vin, and it is in Station North in the old Bottega spot. So it's
on Maryland Avenue.
Maryland Avenue.
Yeah, Maryland. And what's the cross street? Not Lafayette. It's just south. It's on
Landvale
Maryland. Landvale and Lafayette.
Yeah.
Le Comptoir du Vin.
They're really, I mean, they're about high quality ingredients, and you pay for them.
That's what they do.
And once in a while, they have a beautiful French lentils, a great chicken liver pate that you can really house-made sourdough, really cool stuff there.
Oh, I need to go down there. They moved from somewhere else, right?
The thing is you don't. No, that's been their spot over. You don't even have to go down. I mean, now you order everything online, and then you just go pick it up.
Well, I mean,
it's so nice. Yeah. Like this new method of, for us, it's meant selling more pints, right? Like you have to, every business, I'm sure for you, you're selling more
More bags. Absolutely.
And it's not it's the problem is it's not enough, right? It's not enough to like sustain unless you were to figure out a way to like, you know, if you were to sell at every single one of these places. So if you went to Woodbury and went to like Comptoir and all these different places and said, hey, let me do a specialty bag for you, and you sell it out of your store. But that requires such hustle.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of hustle. That's a lot
of hustle.
And we're just trying to keep everything floating. It's a lot of hustle to add on.
It's a lot of hustle to add on. But you know, I guess it's survival too. You know, you do what you got to do to survive. For us, it's exhausting. I just feel exhausted. I feel exhausted. You know, doing like pre-sale pint packages is never something we've done. So creating it is just like the systems, and then dispelling the system to the 3 shops that are open now.
Right. And then you expanded the whole delivery system as well.
Now we're delivering ourselves, and we have a delivery, and then we need a driver. It's just exhausting. And then marketing, which this is, and what you're doing with your YouTube and everything. It's just the marketing aspect of it all is really, that's the one piece I want a baker and someone to help with marketing. And so if anyone out there knows any baking marketing gurus, hit me up.
We need that. So he's saying that. So Tony's saying that when you asked about the cigar that is
the hype beast,
he said something called the Cavalier Cavalier Geneva. I'm not familiar with that one myself, but
yeah,
we'll have to look that up.
What's the Petit Louis that comes in a pot?
The Petit Louis that comes in a pot.
Maybe the soup.
The soup comes in like a
traditional crock.
Yeah, that traditional crock with the Gruyere. Have you tried their cassoulet?
Let me tell you something. We have a holiday once a year. We call it Stansgiving. It's because my friend Stan created it, and we basically go and just get cassoulet, and it's when cassoulet is there. We just get a lot of cassoulet and get pretty drunk and just make fools of ourselves at Petit Louis. And awesome. There's always a fight that happens. And so, yeah, that's one of my favorite days of the year, followed by one of my least favorite days of the year.
The recovery day.
The recovery week. I'm old now.
Yeah, now you're older. It's a week now.
Dude, you get a little hungover and you just feel it for like a week. I'm so careful with alcohol these days.
Oh, you have to be, man. Yeah.
I've been enjoying drinking more during quarantine and drinking a lot of, if I may.
Speaking, we should be drinking.
This is Epic Rye from the Baltimore Spirit Company, who is in the collective with us. So I've been drinking a lot of their stuff. They have a.
So is this stuff they're actually like have distilled and barreled now?
Yep. Okay. I've been drinking their. What have I been drinking? They have a. The name is slipping. They make their style of tequila. It's kind of tequila-ish. But with apples, but with
Is that
yeah, and there's like they put like a ham in there. Oh god, what
ham
is that called? It's killing me. Anyway, do that with a little soda water. Yeah, I've been enjoying drinking. I've found a lot of great places that have been doing pre-bottled cocktails. Dutch Courage is one of them. I encourage everyone. There is this. I now call it an adult Disneyland. We have an adult Epcot Center.
Yes, adult Epcot. Okay, so yes.
You start off your night and you go to WC Harlan. WC Harlan is a bar. It's sort of got like a 1920s speakeasy vibe to it.
Lane's
place. Great cocktails. Get 1 or 2 there. They make a really great. Man, I'm not remembering anything today.
Maybe this will help.
Maybe this will definitely help. Anyway, I'm
going to use the new one that RoMa Craft sent me.
I think that's a great idea. And then from there, you go to Clavel. You get some beautiful mezcal, margaritas. You get some delicious food. From there, you make your way over to
Cheers.
cheers, and cheers to all of you. I miss seeing you, gentlemen. Hopefully, we can smoke a cigar together soon. Faden Saden, which is a natural wine bar. All this is walking distance. And then that used to be it, but now Dutch Courage, yeah, it's nice, right?
Wow, that is real nice.
A beautiful gin bar, Dutch-themed gin bar opened. So you end your night there. They make a gin fizz, and I think what they did was genius.
I will have to Uber to this on this kind of trip.
Yes.
That is not a driving
so
trip.
Here's what they did that was genius. They bought a, are you familiar with a gin fizz? It's a very frothy, like icy, like a snowball almost, but drinkable through a straw, and with ice in it. And normally you have to shake the heck out of it, but they bought a bubble tea machine.
The ones that shake. That's awesome.
It was. I actually.
Do they put it in the bubble tea sealer?
No,
okay.
They put it in a cocktail shaker.
Okay.
I actually went there and experimented with like. I had this dream of like milkshakes in there to see if they would get that same like. And then I was like ice cream with I put some root beer in it, not really thinking well.
Oh.
And yes,
exploded.
It exploded everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Cassoulet is so. You know what? All of you are invited to Thanksgiving this year.
All right, excellent. You know, it would be nice to have a cassoulet from Petit Louis with the bottle of Chateau de Beaucastel.
The problem is by the time you get to the cassoulet, you don't want anything really expensive, high end.
Oh, but
you're already there.
Chateau de Beaucastel goes with everything.
No, but what I mean is you've lost the intricacies because
true.
You start at Johnny's and have a few Tatuaje.
All right, Boda Box.
Boda Box. You start off with a few Tawakatinis.
Oh, Rusty. Hey, how's it going? Rusty's got Eagle Rare. Rusty's up in New Jersey. He's a chef up in New Jersey.
Eagle Rare.
So you know that one coffee we bring in from Hawaii, from Maury Obra, called Rusty's Hawaiian Coffee?
Oh, yeah.
That's his mom.
Rusty.
And he's a chef. He's a chef in New York.
Your mom makes incredible coffee, and I heard great things about the food you make.
Yes, sir. He sent me a turducken one year.
That's
he made this big turducken, and I think he made multiples. And he's like, I got something. I'm gonna send it to you. He said, and I get this like vacuum sealed like turducken. I'm like, oh my god! And happily, I've got a polystyrene sous vide machine. So I'm like, sous vide this sucker. It was excellent.
What's the restaurant called?
Actually, he's not at a restaurant right now. He's he had been a corporate chef for some of the hotel chains.
Okay.
And then he is a high school gourmet teacher now. But he also recently took a position being a chef for a cafe in New York City. He's kind of doing what you're looking for, you know, someone to come in and oversee like
Rusty TV marketing too. I'm looking for a baker marketer.
That's it. He needs a baker. Oh, but that's what I meant to tell you. Is that when you do the baking thing, though, like this is what I find at Spro, right? We have a great baker, Michelle, and she comes in, you know, on average once a week. But for us to, and we do a real good job. We a lot of some of the stuff is fully baked, and then we defrost it, we freeze it, and then defrost. But some of it is prepped, and then we bake it off. But I really think that if you really want to kick it, man, it's got to be daily. It's got to be
right. But here's the thing.
I would love to have that kind of volume that we could go daily because.
But the problem is we freeze it all. So.
Oh, you mean for your product?
Right, right. For my product in particular, like I'm looking for things that hold up being frozen. Like that's my whole challenge. Is like, but I would love to like have a baker to do like if we were at that level, you know, like cookie dough, right? Like we can make cookie dough, but am I using the right method? Really? Maybe not. Maybe a baker can come in and make the best cookie dough I've ever had.
Well, maybe you can get maybe Ilana will lend you his baker once a week.
Yep, maybe.
She's amazing.
Yeah, she's
amazing.
Yeah. There's one. There's a lot of great bakers in this city. So hopefully someone needs one day a week.
Speaking of bacon, have you been to Picara
Yeah, is that the one on
Cold Spring Lane?
Yeah,
That's pretty good. That's
interesting.
Pretty
You know, I really liked what was the one that was on Falls Road, was it?
good. Oh, Rogan Art.
And then I found out that Rogan Art is this like massive chain. It's like
Is it really?
Panera is, but not in USA, in another country.
In Belgium, isn't it?
In Belgium, right.
Was it just an outpost of theirs, or?
I guess so.
Oh,
Or maybe a franchise, or I don't,
Mhm.
maybe someone from the family. But that place was good.
They had very nice stuff, very good stuff. But I'm still very partial to Poupon, to Joseph.
Unbelievable. You know what? I forgot one other place that is really great is Sacre Sucre.
I've not been there.
And really delicious stuff.
Where are they
really
located?
Beautiful. Upper Fells.
Okay.
We've started working with them doing macaron ice cream sandwiches.
Oh.
So
they'll make the shells.
They make the shells. We make the pucks and package them, and we if they make us 60, then we give them 30, and we take 30, and so it's like no money is exchanging hands. It's like
how big are the pucks that they're making?
Like big, like ice cream.
Oh, like Pierre Hermé size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like so, not like tiny ones.
Yeah,
Like big ones. And the one we have coming, and we've been able. First one we did was Earl Grey. And then this one, I had this idea. I wanted to do pucks that were half passion fruit ice cream and half strawberry ice cream, so that it would look like pink, yellow, and then we would get one pink puck, one yellow puck. So then it would go like pink, yellow, pink, yellow.
Oh, nice.
So it would look really beautiful.
That's awesome.
And their stuff is delicious, but they have like the most beautiful pastries I've ever seen. Not ever, but up there.
I'm gonna check that out.
Yeah, please check them out.
I first came across those like larger macarons when on my first trip to Paris. I went to a place called Pierre Hermé, and he's like this like crazy patissier. I'm sure Rusty knows him, but man, he had all kinds of crazy flavors in his boutique. But he would make these macarons. They're like that big.
Oh, really?
I mean, just exquisite.
I'll save you one of these.
Okay.
These
Oh, yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, because they withstand. The thing about it is you have to let it come to it. They're best to let sit for 5 minutes.
Right. So how thick? So how thick is your ice
Pucks
cream?
are about this thick.
How thick is the ice cream?
Like this.
Oh, total size is that?
Is the puck.
All
And then
combined.
right, so it's probably like this big.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. You gotta get into it.
Hey, that's awesome.
We tried making them smaller, didn't work. Ice cream sandwiches. Tony, we did. We have a flavor to me that is my favorite flavor. It's called ice cream sando, and the whole.
That's the one that I get at the baby
right.
scoop. That's the one that has that
Right.
color.
Right.
Yeah.
It tastes like an ice cream sandwich. We've tried all the different wafers. We found the right wafer, and what happens is the moisture absorbs into it, so it has that like soft ice cream sandwich. And, we have to lick it off your fingers. Oh, I love ice cream sandwiches.
Oh, me too. Even the commercial ones. I love that.
I'd like them all. I like them all.
My local hardware store, Suburban Ace Hardware, they have a
shout out Suburban Ace. Sponsored by.
They actually have a case of ice cream at the checkout counter.
So smart. Falcon Hands does too.
Oh, do they?
Not ice cream, but they have snacks.
They should put the ice cream because that, man, I will walk out with I'll go buy like a screw.
Right. And then we're like, what?
Oh, ice cream. It's either ice cream sandwich or the Haagen-Dazs bar, the ice cream, the dip bar. That's
my next thing I want to do is I want to talk to the Wine Source, which is an excellent one of the finest liquor stores around.
Hands down.
They have everything you need. If they don't have it, they'll order it for you. And I want to put a freezer there for cocktail starters or like a boozy milkshake starter.
Oh.
Right? So where it'll be like maybe like a flavor that pairs well with gin. And it's just like, take 2 scoops of this and mix it, or a scoop, and then blend it with gin. And then...
Oh, that sounds great.
Right? But it just feels like that's a lot to get off the off the ground.
Especially when we're trying to hustle all the other stuff.
God, right. But maybe that's it. I mean, maybe that's the key is keep hustling the small stuff and find the thing that hits, right? Mine keeps going out on me.
That's all right. That's all right.
McLean Cigars.
Yeah, so last week we did a tasting of the Paul Gamerian 30th anniversary, and that's from their boutique down in McLean.
In McLean, Virginia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so Rusty, if you want, and also everybody else, I've already set up a schedule for the coming weeks. So for the next month, we're coming up next week. We're starting out with the Bombay Tobacco M. Esteli Torpedo. And then that on the 3rd of September, we're going to be smoking the Stolen Throne Call to Arms Sumatra Corona. And
Corona?
Then, the Corona. It's actually, they call it Corona, but it's big.
Really?
It's like a 6x46. It's long. I was I was looking at online. I was like looking at the specs, and I was like, they only had two cigars, Robusto and Corona. And I'm looking at the cigars like, this is not Corona. Coronas are like 4 or 5 inches. This is like massive. And then after that is the Rocky Patel on the 10th, the World Championship Mareva. So there's something called
there was a World Championship one, and you didn't give me that one?
Well, it's not for a couple weeks. But the World Champion, it's interesting. It's a small cigar, right? Like maybe that big. And it's really thin. And it's for the World Championship of Cigar Smoking. And the idea is to...
There is a championship cigar smoker?
Yes. So when you think of
and
World
you're trying to get... Is it like to get as much ash as possible?
No. But if so, if you're thinking World Championship Cigar Smoking, what would you think it would be about? Like, how would you envision that yourself?
You want to as you look as cool as possible smoking the cigar. You get it down to here, and it's all ash, and you're just like this.
That would be something. Well, I've seen pictures of the World Championship. So they do like.
But no,
regionals.
It's about the cigar itself.
Well,
right?
no, but they do the regionals, and then they do a national, and then they do worlds, right? And the worlds are held in Croatia. And I've seen pictures, and these guys are all in this ballroom at these tables, and they're wearing tuxedos. Like, it's super nice. But they have this tiny cigar. And my thought when I first heard about it, I was like, well, they should be probably who can smoke the fastest, right? It's about who can smoke the longest. And this tiny cigar, and you're supposed to smoke. The World Championship, like 2 years ago, the guy took this tiny cigar, and he smoked it for 3 hours, 26 minutes.
And you can't relight.
No relights.
That's awesome.
It's awesome. Crazy. Yeah, Rusty, Tony, it's definitely closer to the Corona Gorda, the Stolen Throne, Call to Arms. But man, it's crazy. So then after that, so that's on the 10th, the Rocky Patel one, and then the 17th will be the Stolen Throne, Crook of the Crown Robusto. I ended up with 2 Stolen Thrones. So that's coming up for the next 4 weeks. And actually, I'm getting those all from Raul at Tobacco Leaf. He has
who are the guests going to be?
I don't know yet. You can come back.
I can go back?
Yeah, absolutely. So
we'll have a 3 hour and...
3 hour. I can't smoke. I don't think I can. Oh. But if you want to get them, call up Raul at Tobacco Leaf in Jessup. And his number is 410-799-2094. I know, but it's all in the show notes. It's all in the show notes.
Look him up. Hey Google, look up Raul.
Maybe I'll put that on the bottom of the screen later.
Flash it. So how are cigar shops working now? Are they like doing outdoor people gathering and smoking, or are they just like kind of cut off the whole social aspect?
I think it depends. Like where Tony works at Not Watching a Cigar, they don't have any seating indoors. You can sit outside, from what I've seen. At Tobacco Leaf in Jessup, they do have both indoor and outdoor seating. So you can. I smoked there once about 3 weeks ago. I'm not sure about the other ones. Like the Humidor down the street is. I think they're allowing people, like 1 or 2 people in to smoke.
But that takes away all the fun.
It does. But I've heard that they're all doing solid business. Just like you're saying before.
Takeaway, right?
Yeah.
Because people are just
like my cousin Bernardo. Like I remember, maybe about 2 months ago, He's like, hey man, come over and hang out. I was like, all right. So I went over to his house. It's 6 in the afternoon, right? 6 in the evening. And we're going to have a cigar. And he's like, man, this is my 6th cigar of the day. I was like, 6 cigars a day? Good Lord, man. That's insane.
Awesome.
Yes, Rusty, you can pre-buy all the cigars. Actually, I didn't talk about, Ro wasn't there when I went to pick these up, so he has no idea. But if you call him and tell him, hey man, this is what we need, he'll send them up to you, not a problem. He's very much a hustler like that.
How do we get Rusty up here? I want to hang out with Rusty. He seems like a cool dude.
You got to get him to come down. Come down, Rusty.
Let's eat some ice cream
His
together.
wife is just here. Oh, you met his wife. That's his wife, Amy, the blonde, the opera singer. That's his wife.
Oh, when was that?
That was like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. She was here. You're in the video. Did you know that? Did you see it?
Yeah. So,
okay.
Got it. Your wife is lovely, Rusty. Very lovely.
Yes, Rusty, you can pre-order the coffee. I haven't decided the coffees yet for the next 4 weeks, but I'll figure that out in the next couple of days.
You should sell packages of coffee and cigars.
That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing. Well, I can't sell the cigars. Right. So that's why
Raul can sell coffee.
Raul, that he can.
So maybe you sell packages and
actually we did that earlier this year.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. That was a good turnout.
Now,
that's why he married her.
Are you pairing cigars with coffee in this? That like the coffee tastes good with this, but are you like thinking about the notes of the coffee within?
Yes, absolutely.
Interesting.
Which is why I'm trying to figure out what these. So I haven't. So the cigars we're going to smoke over the next 4 weeks, I have not smoked them, and I only bought enough. Like that, I only buy 2 for each one. So one for me, one for whoever's going to be here, and then I haven't smoked. Unlike these other ones, I haven't smoked. Like unlike this one, I've never smoked. I haven't smoked the other ones before, so I have no idea. So I'm just looking at the people's notes online, and then I'm going to base it off of that to see what goes close to it. So Rusty wants to know if you're looking for a baker full time.
No, 1 day a week.
1 day a week. 1 day a week. Maybe Rusty could come down 1 day a week.
Rusty, come down 1 day a week.
He goes to his cafe in New York City. From what Amos told me, he goes there on Fridays.
You know, ideally, I would love to do the volume to have a baker, but it would have to be like baker prep. The preps. The problem with what we do is so much of it is in bulk.
Yes.
Right, because we're not like a lot of the beautiful ingredients we'd love to buy are meant to like finishing, or you can buy a little something to put on, but we're trying to put it in ice cream, and then it's like you need a lot of it. So that's always the problem we have is
So are you talking more like you need baking stuff to actually be ingredients in the ice cream?
Some of it. Okay. Some of it would be like we do ice cream pies, right? Mm-hmm. And I would love someone to like help us with like coming up with a better recipe. None of us are bakers, so we do the best we can, and I think it's pretty darn delicious. But there's certain flaws in it that I know that probably no one else would. It doesn't hold together as much as I'd like it to. And then we always put stuff on top of it as well. Wouldn't it be great to have like a beautiful topping on it that's not like right now our toppings are kind of dependent upon like, we do our our hot fudge topping, we'll do like marshmallow topping, but it'd be cool to like get some other.
Yeah. So those kind of like, let's say the hot fudge, are you bringing that in or are you making that yourself?
We make that ourselves.
Okay.
We make as much ourselves as we can. I don't know how to make marshmallow fluff. That's one thing I
thought you do how to make that.
We make marshmallows, but not marshmallow fluff. It's probably very similar. We just haven't gotten around to it.
Yeah, we were involved about 15 years, 20 years ago. I was involved I wasn't the one actually involved in the formulation, but we were involved in a lot of the testing of actual marshmallow fluff.
For snowballs?
Yeah. Trying to get the right consistency, because for shaved ice, it has to be pourable, right? And then not too hard once it hits the ice.
Right.
Although, personally speaking, I like it when it gets harder on the ice.
I do too.
I think it gets that chewiness.
Yeah.
I really enjoy that.
A little toothsome.
Yeah, a little toothsome. Yeah, I like that. Maybe some pastry consulting, Rusty says. There it is.
Rusty, come down. We need you. A flavor we've been working on that's been really fun.
What's that?
Roasted peach and biscuit. So we got a bunch of biscuits from Black Sauce, which is a great local. They've also been doing reheatable packages.
They're only at the farmers market.
No, now you order online,
okay,
and you pick up Saturday or Sunday from the parking lot of the old Parts and Labor parking lot.
Oh, where are they cooking out of?
Parts and Labor.
Oh, are they really? Okay,
yeah.
awesome. Man, I miss their old shop. Going there was always a fantastic meal.
It'll be back soon, I think.
Are they rebuilding it?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe a pastry consultant. Problem is we have a very small production team right now. We just went from 4 people. Actually, we have someone who was supposed to work full time this summer, 5 days a week, and we put him at 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week.
Oh, yeah,
just because like the demand isn't there.
Yeah, that's the reality of today's business.
But we're forging ahead. We're building in Colombia. We just went to look at Colombia. We're about to sign on a general contractor.
Good.
So
that'll be for next summer.
They want us to open by end of the year.
Like end of the year?
Yeah.
Is that realistic?
Why not? What's the build out? 8 weeks? 2 months?
True. I gotta say though, like last year at this time, I was looking at a bunch of different opportunities, and some in Towson, some in downtown, all big, massive. I mean, they were all massive build outs. And I was just thinking about this like 2 days ago. I was thinking, man, you know what? My mom has this thing that she calls, whenever like life delivers disappointment, she's always like, her whole opinion is like, it's a blessing in disguise, right? And man, I always hated that saying. Hated it. Like it always made me angry when she would tell me that. But I was thinking about this a couple of days ago. I was like, you know what? I didn't sign on any of those deals that I looked at a year ago.
Right. That was a blessing.
And that was a blessing because I think we would have been hosed at this point.
But Jay, we're in a different spot.
No, I'm not saying you.
Right.
No.
Me. The spot that we're in is that we have fixed costs. So we have a awesome ice cream production kitchen, but it is massive, right? And it's built for growth.
Right.
So if we don't grow and we don't have right now, we have Hamden, which is great. Was great before this. We have Towson, which is fine. We had the factory, which is closed now, but was.
You mean the retail side is
right?
closed,
Retail side, which was not much and dependent entirely upon the brewery.
Right.
And now we have the Fed Hill walk-up window. We need another couple machine ice cream shops in order for the fixed costs of the factory to go down.
Yes.
Right. So us building right now is not us being like, no matter what, we're still growing. It's like, well, we need this to survive,
sustain.
right?
Yeah.
Like there will come a time where like COVID isn't happening, and we need to have more shops ready for that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where we're at. That's why we're like continually building. But it's like just trying to figure out the next 5 years has gotten very confusing. And
oh man,
what I guess the thing is I would love to at some point make money.
That would be nice. I don't know what that's like.
I don't.
If my accountant is watching, he's like, "Yeah, you don't know what that's like."
I haven't. I love the life I live, but I just 40 something, and like I figure I have good 20 years in me to like work hard.
Okay.
And I want to use those 20 years to like spend my 60s traveling the world.
Yeah, it would be nice.
That's all I really want, right? So I don't mean rich as in like windfall, because it will never happen with ice cream unless something.
Well, it happened to Ben and Jerry.
Yeah, and it happened, But then on the other side, we were friendly with a great ice cream shop out of Brooklyn called Ample Hills.
Okay.
And watching them grow, opened the giant production kitchen, opened a shop in Disneyland, a shop in LA.
Wow.
Right, things were like really building for them, and they just declared bankruptcy. So it's that balance that I want to like balance out, like.
But I think with something like that, like if you, like I've always thought about that. Like, what's it like to have like? It'd be great to have like locations spread out like that. But if you're based in Brooklyn and you've got a location in Disney, which would that sounds like gangbusters, right? And then you got LA.
how's it gonna work?
How do you get that to work? It seems so. Now that I've had more experience, it's like it seems crazy to do that.
Yeah,
with operations so spread out.
I would love to move south as far as like Northern Virginia, and that's it.
Okay.
Like I feel like within Baltimore, around like we're Chevy Chase, I'd love to open a shop. DC, I've always felt like I could do well in DC because I can. There are ice cream shops in DC, but none of them seem to be having that much fun. And the other thing is a huge part of what we do is like community engagement, right? So like I would love to go to DC and like a whole new batch of musicians and artists we can work with, and you know what I mean? Like there's all these other like Baltimore. We've worked with. I've had my dreams come true because I love music and ice cream, probably my two big passions. I've gotten all my favorite bands I've gotten to make ice cream with.
That's awesome.
Like it's been so much fun, and to be able to combine those two things, and we've hit on the formula of how to do that.
Okay.
Like I know how to go to a musician and be like, let's make ice cream and donate money to a nonprofit, and it's going to be so easy for you, and you get to make your own ice cream, and that's fun, right? That's
awesome. That's awesome.
That's what we've been working on. David, please get my contact information.
I will definitely pass that on, Rusty.
Please. I want Rusty. I don't want one of this. I want Rusty. Rusty sounds like the man.
He is. But if he knew someone, he definitely would vet him out. That's
okay.
Nothing to worry about there.
Yeah. Let me try a little without ice.
Oh, here. I got a little snifter cup for you.
I can pour it in here.
No, this is designed for that. From the wine source. Riedel. There we go.
We're talking a lot about wine, but I'll tell you, when Laura worked for, my wife worked for a high-end, my wife and business partner and baby mama worked for a...
the true brains behind the operation.
I get to have fun and she gets to... Well, her fun is... We have different fun.
Yeah. She got the numbers fun.
Yeah. And they did a Riedel tasting, right? So the company would come, they'd be like, here, taste this wine in this glass. And it would be like a red Solo cup. Smell, sniff it, like, oh, it's a nice wine. Okay, now taste it in this cup. It's a Pinot. This is a Merlot cup. Okay, oh, I see, it's better more. But now this cup this is made specifically for Oregon Pinot. Try it in this glass.
For Oregon Pinot.
Right.
Wow.
Oh, weird. Okay. And then you taste it and you're like, oh my God, this is a beautiful wine.
Wow.
It was so eye-opening to taste this wine in these different glasses. And then I forgot they had us taste it in a Pinot glass, and it was great. And then the Oregon Pinot glass is like, and sure, some of it is, as we were talking, perception versus reality, right? If they're telling you it's better, you're probably going to think it's better. But definitely from the red cup to there are reasons why it's a Pinot glass.
Yes,
and it is. Maybe on our next episode together, we can do an experiment like that.
Okay, I'd be very game for that.
Bring a bottle of wine and
God.
try it in a red Solo cup, and then try it in like the specific cup. And
what red wine would you like to try?
Foresight.
Oh, Foresight! Oh, Foresight! Excellent.
That's there is a winery in Mendocino County that are friends of mine, and I worked a harvest with them. And
I've had one of their wines. Very good. Very
really,
good.
really tasty. And when I was not, to own a business sometimes feels so unreachable. And they opened theirs a couple years before we did. And to go down there and work a harvest and be like, these are my friends, and they're owning their own winery and they're doing it. And like, just knowing what like that was and seeing, him work, I would just walk. I worked a job in marketing at a theater and I hated it. I went to the office every day. I wore cheap linen dress pants, just disgusting dress pants that I found in a catalog.
You mean like an acting theater, not
right, an acting theater. I wore these awful and these cheap dress shirts, just felt awful.
Like a Land's End
right,
out.
It just felt awful. No, not even Land's End. Like polyester, and just like I was just miserable. And I went from there, and I left there, and we were trying to get a loan for the Chamery, and before that even came about, they were like, come work a harvest, and we'll pay for your flight and room and board, and come work a harvest. And I got there, and my first job was every day in the morning I'd wake up and take samples. What that meant is you pick every other row, you alternate it between days, take 5 steps, pick a berry, put it in a bag. Pick a berry, put it in a bag. And then they would
But you had certain specifications for what berry to pick?
No, just any random berry.
Okay.
And then from that, they would do brick samples and to determine when the wine was ready to harvest. But man, just walking down these lanes, it was the most free I've ever been.
Wow.
And I was just like, I'd listen to music and podcasts, and I'd be like, I even just think about, I feel like the weight of this like linen pants or polyester pants just melting off of me. I was like, okay, I could do this. It was such a pivotal like step to like.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Like, oh, I hated that job so much, and I'll never forget. I was hired to do marketing there, and then I realized that theater marketing is a whole different thing and number based, and you're trying to promote. It's inherently a flawed system because you're trying to market shows that you have no decision in what shows you're marketing. So I don't get to decide what shows I want to market.
Right.
So I got to market these shows that are sometimes borderline unmarketable. And then I'd come up with ideas and no one would listen to me. And I would just be like, God, this sucks.
Yeah, that sucks. That sucks. But no one listens to you, especially.
And then I opened the Chamery and I was like, I get to create flavors based on marketing ideas. I would have an idea for a marketing and could create a flavor to fit in this idea and create it and see it sell out in 2 days. It's just like, awesome. And I ran into my old boss walking down the avenue. He's like, he looks at me, he goes, oh, turns out you know something about marketing after all. And I was just like, I'm free. I'm okay now.
Okay.
I'm okay.
I'm out of those polyester pants.
Right.
You can piss off right now.
Awful polyester pants.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
But it's why I love owning my own business. Like even in this time where owning your own business, as you know, is one of the hardest. This has been the hardest challenge. But I believe that us surviving this and you all survive, it's what makes us. It will add grit, and I'm determined to learn from this time, as I'm sure you are.
Yes.
Like that's the thing I keep taking from it is like, I better come out of this and be better at making ice cream, be better at marketing, and come up with new systems, right? Create better systems to make more money when everything is popping off again. When, we lost our catering business 100%, gone. So when that starts coming back, and maybe we keep delivery, maybe we keep that, it's then the world is ours, right? We've come up with these ideas. You've started doing all this interesting multimedia stuff. You continue that plus the stuff, and then all of a sudden, then it's interesting, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, the thing is, I had been thinking about. Actually, I had been resisting doing this YouTube multimedia stuff for years because my background is actually in motion picture production.
Right.
And so when I would be recently, I've actually started. I was actually starting to compile this video. I'm looking for footage that I have, but I haven't shot video in much at all over the last 10 years, right? But I've been traveling a ton over the last 13 years. So the potential what I could have had is tremendous. So my plan was to really start this coming year, this 2020. When we started out started making videos at the end of 2019. The plan was to really go hard deep into it and make it while I was traveling. But traveling is done right now.
Right.
So it's like,
but you get to now it's like with less material.
Yes.
Forced to be more creative, right? Because you don't have I would love to see I talking to you, hearing about your travels and what coffee judging is. It's a fascinating world that I have no idea about.
Yeah, I mean, I had these ideas of following it step by step and seeing behind, but that's going to have to wait probably till 2021.
And look, that you never know we have a high school friend of mine who
Okay.
is a genius business guy, and he's been our business consultant for a year now. And one thing he said is he's like, it might not be ice cream that pushes you forward to the goal you want to be. It might be something else you stumble upon while making ice cream. Whether it's like we do these movies, right, where it's like we do full sensory movies at our factory. Every winter we do 3 or 4, and we show the movie. And at certain points in the movie, we bring out different food. And at certain points, there's smells that happen and different like giant pieces of, we created the giant, the Andre the Giant in the Holocaust cloak on fire and wheeled that in at that time. And I was
you lit them on fire?
No, it was like light bulbs that looked like fire.
That'd be amazing. Like, oh my God, amazing.
Yeah. But like, and I was like, man, maybe this is like imagine a theater. And now I've been in talks with Merriweather because we're going right close. Right? And I was like, okay, what if you show movies and you have the option to buy this box, and in this box is like different like treats or smell, like vials of smells and all these different things that you like as the movie's going along, and it all stems from like, you grew up in this area, yeah?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Remember the power plant?
Oh, absolutely. My good friends worked there.
They had a movie theater there.
Yeah, the Smellatorium, was it called?
Right. I remember going there, and it blew my mind. There were smells that they would pipe in, and I was like, what if you mix the smells with different food and treat? And like, I think that's something. I don't know what that is.
I think what you've done with the movies has been quite brilliant.
There's something amazing there, like there's something there that like maybe that's the future. Maybe that's I don't know, but I'm spending this time in quarantine, and not even quarantine anymore, but like definitely restricted access to, where normally summertime I'm just worried about survival, right? Like keeping things afloat and making sure we make enough ice cream. Now it's like, oh, we have enough ice cream. What's the other creative things? And that's where the baker comes in, and that's where all these different things are like, sparking. What are we interested in, and how do we build that? I see that with you. I would love to see your travel. Like when you come back from Saudi Arabia, I would love to know what what does a coffee competition in Saudi Arabia look like? Yeah,
absolutely.
Like I don't even really care about coffee.
Right.
But I care about that, right? Like I care about where does Jay, and also because you are so like culinarily focused, where are you going to eat? Like where, what are you doing with, like what happens when a bunch of coffee judges go out together to eat?
Yes, right? Absolutely.
And you can, now the cameras with iPhones and phones, and you could just bring a camera around your neck and just like take different shots and put it to your friend's techno music. And
that'd be amazing. I mean, like one of the girls that's one of my judges, she has her own coffee company in Dubai.
Right.
A Brazilian girl, wonderful person, Maria, and she's like, when we go out, like when we were out this last trip, she's like, do you mind if I order? I was like, yeah, order whatever you want. And she's like, let's say there's just 4. Let's say there was 4 of us. She would literally order 8 dishes. I mean, deep. She likes to go deep, and I'm like, oh my God.
See, I'm that same way because
craziness.
You don't have to finish everything, but I want to taste 8 dishes.
My problem is that I want to finish everything.
I would love to know I would love to see. Well, I've tried that Rusty's coffee. I would love to see what the farm looks like.
Oh, it's amazing.
When you travel to see these different coffee plantations all over the world, I'm like that. Even as a non-coffee person, I'm interested in.
Well, interesting, like with Rusty's, like my very first trip to Rusty's was in 2008. And I found out about Rusty's. I have an old friend in the business his name is Miguel Meza, and he's originally from Minneapolis. And he moved to Hawaii because he really, instead of being on the side of the coffee business I'm with, which is the barista side, making the drinks and serving it to guests, his interest has always been in the cultivation of coffee. And so he moved to Hawaii, and then he was like, I remember him telling me this story. He's like, hey man, I know this woman in Ka'u who is making this beautiful coffee. She's got so much potential. And I was like, I was going on a trip out there, and he was like, you need to go visit her. So I dragged my cousin. Actually, I made a video about this, but I never got to edit it yet. But I'm going to put it together now in the next coming months. But so we flew to the Big Island.
So like
my cousin
12 years later?
Yes, not 12 years later. But I flew to the Big Island and went to meet Lori. Her name is Lori, and she's this little Filipino woman, like kind of reminds me of my mom, right? Small woman. And she's in the midst of this whole, like, it's not a big operation. It's a relative, compared to like other coffee operations, really small, but she's got racks. At the time, she had racks and racks and racks of coffees under like different experimental fermentation techniques and processing. And she's like, oh yeah, we're doing this with this fruit juice and Pepsi Cola. And like, I was like, oh my God, this is incredible stuff. And so, I mean, it was just like you're saying, it's like you meet these people that are just doing amazing stuff. And it's like, just get blown away.
There's a gelato shop in, I want to say New Zealand.
Okay.
That I follow that is like doing a gelato Messina. Oh. And I just, it's one of my, like, I want to go there. So, and like, I'm on their email list and they're like, oh, we're doing this like box of like noodles and gelato and gelato, right? That pair well together. And then I was like, oh my God, all right, I need to go to Steve. I need to talk to Steve at Ekiban. And
how about noodles with ramen ice cream?
Because we've done
ramen based ice cream.
Have you tasted ever our cinnamon ramen?
No, I didn't know about that.
So we do cinnamon ramen, and we do a cinnamon base, and we crush up ramen noodles.
Okay.
And what happens?
Oh, the freeze dried noodle. Okay.
What happens is like the moisture hydrates it, but not fully. So you get like this like toothsome like bite to it, and you're like, oh, it's so good.
Wow.
So if ever you need flavor packets from ramen, I have like a 3-gallon grow pack full.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, that is good.
But yeah, so I want to talk to Steve and be like, okay, let's do a thing where you do like a special chicken dish and we do a special pint and people can come pick up both at the same time.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
And the goal is we did an event at Shoe Fly. Remember Shoe Fly?
Yes, of course.
And we did a 3-course dinner and it was with Opie. I love Opie.
He's opening his own place now, right?
I don't know what he's doing.
It's a barbecue. No, who's doing the? Oh, it's George doing the barbecue.
That's George, okay. Right? And one of the dishes we did was fried chicken with a honey hot sauce ice cream over top of it.
Oh God!
And it was so incredibly like delicious. I think about that dish often.
Wow!
And I was like, maybe I'll talk to Steve and do like a hot sauce, Szechuan hot sauce. Today I had a donut that blew my mind. From Doug do you know Doug Wetzel?
I don't believe so.
He is the pastry chef at Gertrude's.
Okay.
He's in BMA.
Yes.
And John Shields, who is one of like the founder of Farm to Chef in Baltimore.
Yeah. The whole Chesapeake cuisine.
The whole Chesapeake cuisine is his. And he's been making donuts and he's like, try this donut. He's like, have you ever seen Rick and Morty?
Yes.
I was like, yeah, I've seen it. You're right. So he's like, my goal in this was a chicken finger with Szechuan sauce. He's like, so we have one fryer at Gertrude's, and all we cook in this one fryer is chicken. So I fried the donuts in this fryer, and I put a Szechuan glaze on it. Oh, interesting.
So kind of like almost like a Kung Pao chicken kind of. It had Szechuan chicken, Szechuan pepper chicken thing.
It so picked up the notes of the chicken.
Oh.
And I was like, I love when food blows my mind, and that blew my mind. So,
now, is that something on their menu?
I think so. They just opened a snowball stand in their sculpture garden.
Oh, nice!
And I think they're selling donuts there too. His donut is called Donut Stop Believing.
Nice. That's cute. That's cute.
So it was. I love when you eat food and it's like it blows your mind and it's delicious. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you'll eat food and you'll be like, that is so interesting. I don't want another bite.
Yes, absolutely.
And I like that too. But I love when you're like, that is so interesting. And that's like cheese and crackers and ramen ice cream. Our goal with all of those flavors is not to make flavors that are like, okay, that's interesting. That's cool how you did that. But to make flavors that are like, I want that flavor. I want a scoop of that.
Yeah. I get. I mean, I get it. What you're saying. Like there's sometimes I'll find coffees that are really, really unique and funky. Even like I remember this one that we brought in from Uganda about it must be like 8-9 years ago, and it had this super funky, like freaky, like almost blue cheese kind of character to it.
Wow.
Like it was something that I wouldn't never give to like the first time visitor to Spro.
Right.
Like I would only offer that to like regulars who had already become that know that we're making a certain level of product, because this was such a left turn divergence that it was like, okay, this is kind of the other stuff for you to experience, you know.
I mean, yeah, I love Spro. I love the
Thank
shop.
you.
I love that, like, you just had such interesting coffees throughout the years.
Oh, thanks.
And I remember sitting out in your back porch when you gave us the what's the coffee that's eaten by the animal, and then
the Kopi Luwak. Yeah. We only had very little of that.
Right. You gave me some of that, and I was just like, this is so weird. It's a weird coffee, but it's good.
Yeah.
And I remember all the press you got when you opened. It was such like, it almost had the tone of like, who does this coffee shop think they are? Like Baltimore was not, when you first opened, Baltimore was not ready for you.
No,
like,
that's for sure.
It was like
sure.
an $18 cup of coffee.
No, it was only 12 or 15. It was 15.
Well,
15.
whatever.
Right.
Who would
$3 less?
Right.
Like,
who would dare charge that? Like, oh, I remember one article in particular where I was just like, it was so negative, and I finished reading it. I was like,
was that the one where the woman came in to try the coffee and like complained about the service as well?
No, it was just it was about it focused a lot on the pricing.
Oh, yes.
And I was just like, I gotta go get this coffee. like it's just so interesting that like when you first open, it was you're gonna be the first, right? Like, yeah, like when I opened the Chamery, everyone I talked to was like, you won't survive the winter if you don't do soups and hot dogs.
That was the thing in the business?
I was like, I don't want to do soups and hot dogs. I want to do ice cream. And I believe that if we do ice cream well enough, we can survive. And if you do coffee well enough and creatively enough, and like, you will find, like, there weren't that many like coffee focused people in Baltimore when you first opened.
Right.
But like now you see it's like, as
there's
it's
definitely
grown,
more.
Right? Like I remember you're like you guys are the godfathers of like high-end coffee in Baltimore.
Oh, thank you.
Who else is doing it? I mean, there are restaurants that have good coffee, and certainly places like Vent and Sophomore have popped up since. But you guys continually source the like most interesting coffee.
Oh, thank you.
Like, you have the coffee that blows minds, right?
Like, we try to. Right. We try to have good stuff,
Night Watch, when I first tried that, this is the most interesting diner coffee I've ever had. Right? Like, it's so good and it's so dinery, but it's also so like,
that's an interesting coffee you bring there, because the Night Watch is our dark roast, and historically I tend to stay away from dark roast, but like so many people ask for dark roast. It's so like you really can't escape it. And It's one of those things that we kind of like. I kind of gave in a little bit, and so we started roasting this one coffee. And I don't drink it very often, but I'll drink it once in a while to like
make
quality control it. And even I'm surprised at how
good,
how nice it is. It's like, oh, this, like, I have guests that come in and that's all they'll buy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, interesting.
I love that coffee.
It's like, we have other stuff too, but like, no, we love this. All right, very good. Do you have cheese and crackers at Towson?
We do not.
Oh, they do not. Sorry, Brian.
Towson is. We have different flavors for different shops. Towson is not our adventurous ice cream eating people. We don't have it out now, period. In fact, tomorrow everything switches, because tomorrow we're releasing 7 anniversary flavors.
Oh, right. But that's all sold out.
No. So the pre-package we sold out.
Oh,
but
okay.
Now, come tomorrow, you can buy scoops and chops. All 7 flavors are available for scoops and chops and individual pints.
Oh, that's awesome.
There was just like this package with the pin and the sticker and the 3-cone card and fouilletine. Do you know about fouilletine?
Fuyatine.
It is it's used in baking a lot. I bet Randy knows about it. They're these flakes that basically are like crispy little croissant flakes.
Oh, okay.
And it's used in baking quite a bit. And they're so good on top of ice cream. I'm gonna be honest, they're so good in as cereal. it's like the most decadent cereal you could eat. But it is like, so we include like a little package of Fuyatine and like, so you could sprinkle it on your ice cream.
Oh, that sounds great. That sounds great. All right, so that's good. So of the 7 flavors to commemorate the 7th anniversary of the Chamery, right, is there one that you would gravitate towards more?
It's hard because I haven't tasted them fully realized. Ice cream blooms is what it's called in the freezer. The vanilla will take hold more, and certain flavors will go in the background. When you taste it out of the machine, I'll be like, "This is the best flavor ever," and then like a week later, I'll try. I'll be like, "Huh." All the flavors kind of muted once it got real frozen.
I see. Okay. But is that because it is frozen, so your senses are more dull?
Part of it.
Okay.
But there's a flavor I know that is just will make forever, and it's called banoffee pie. Have you heard of banoffee pie?
Banoffee pie.
So it's based out of it was created in Essex, England.
Oh, very good.
Tavern, and it's banoffee banana toffee.
Okay.
So it's banana based, so we use fresh, obviously real bananas, and we put in. So when we want something to taste like the flavor or like a cookie, so we do it on our Maryland mud. Whenever we do cookies, what we'll do is we'll take per run, we'll do like 1 pound or 2 pounds depending on the machine, and put in the Roku, dust that cookie. So, or our Maryland mud, which has Oreo bits in it, will dust a pound of it and put that in the ice cream. So even if you don't get an Oreo piece, there's an Oreo taste to it. Mm-hmm. So we did that with usually it's like a shortbread crust, but we did it with Biscoff, speculoos, and it's banana base with Biscoff dust, Biscoff pieces, and like toffee bits. And it's just like
crazy.
You're just like, okay, this is like a slutty flavor. Right? This is like obviously this is obviously a winner. But I think the most subtle, pretty, the one that surprised me was we did a Jamaican grater cake, ginger grater cake. So it's basically shredded coconut. It's no gluten in it. It's like sugar that's like kind of formed with shredded coconut, and it's like a cake, like a bar basically. We put pieces of that in a coconut base, so it's vegan, and ginger juice. We juice fresh ginger root.
Oh.
So it's got a little spice, but then the sweetness of this grater cake, it's really nice. I'm very interested. I haven't tried the yuzu rhubarb pistachio. When I tasted it out of the machine, it felt to me like all the flavors got a little muted together. But I hope that when it blooms, that certain flavors will kind of peek out.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So we'll see.
We'll see. All right.
My grandfather used to drink a dark roast. He was a trucker.
60 Mile. Nice.
I've always dreamed of being a trucker, but I hate driving. Do you like driving?
I do like driving.
See, I like driving by myself. I don't like driving other people.
But if you're a trucker, you're driving by yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't like driving a truck.
I don't know. I think it'd be kind of fun. Maybe 18 gears whatever it is, 20 gears.
I had a hint of it when I was working for a reggae band in California. Uh-huh. I did some of the tour managing, and I drove basically a large RV with a tractor trailer with a trailer attached.
Oh, uh-huh. Oh, I get that.
I hated it. I hated driving it. I hated like turning around and like the trailer. I hated every aspect.
You know, I used to, when I lived in Hawaii, I used to drive tour buses, like full-size MCI 102A3 buses.
For what?
For one of the tour companies, like driving tours around the island, telling them what to do, like where to see.
That's awesome.
But it was the big Greyhound bus. Man, I love that.
I'm not a driver.
I can parallel park a bus. and back it into like anything.
I bet now I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
I'd love to do it again. It was great. It was good times.
No, I don't like driving.
Tom Benassi. What about Tom Benassi? Is he online too with us? I hope so.
Who's Tom Benassi?
Tom's one of the guys in our group, and he's a big Gurkha fan. Big Gurkha.
Oh,
fan.
Gurkha.
Gurkha. Cigar Gurkha.
See, I remember. Who told me? Maybe it was you. I heard that Gurkha was a lot of marketing, and they do have great marketing.
They have great marketing and great packaging. Great packaging.
Are you a Gurkha fan?
I am. I've tried Gurkhas over the years. I've tried them.
That is so diplomatic.
That is,
ladies and gentlemen, diplomatic Jay. Jay for president.
I should be a president. That'd be amazing.
The amount of chaos that you would cause as president.
No, I wouldn't cause any chaos. You know why I wouldn't cause any chaos? Because I would be in Air Force One.
Oh, you're like
seeing the world. What did they say? Was it Obama that did a lot of trips?
Yeah.
Man, I would be as much as Trump and Obama. If you put Trump and Obama's golfing together, my goal would be to be on Air Force One, traveling somewhere else in the world more than those two combined.
Well, Molly, they need to see. I got to put some FaceTime in.
Molly,
I got to put FaceTime in.
I mean, all those countries we got to go visit, make relations with them. Why should we rely on the ambassadors alone?
No, we got to check them out.
In my administration, the president would be there too.
I want to be your
my marketing guy.
No, I don't want to do marketing. I want to be
you
your
can be serving ice cream
ambassador of funk.
I like that.
Happy relations. Make sure everyone's cool. Everyone cool?
You can have Grandmaster as your undersecretary.
No, I don't think Grandmaster is the right term.
No. I'm saying Grandmaster Funk would be your undersecretary. That would be. You're like,
a bass player behind me everywhere we went.
Oh, that'd be amazing. That'd be amazing.
We got plans.
Oh my goodness, that's good. That's good. All right. Anything else we should cover?
Good cigar.
Good cigar. Wait, yeah. What'd you think? How was it?
Delicious.
That was good. That was really good. We didn't really talk too much cigars this time, but
it went out a lot.
Okay.
So I find some more sustainable as far as smoking wise. Like you can put it down for a minute and then you pick it back up. It's still. I don't know if that's a thing with the cigar or.
I wonder. Like mine went out once or twice, and maybe it's more of like maybe because we're talking so much that we're not giving the full attention to the cigar. So.
But delicious.
Yeah. That was beautiful.
I really enjoyed it. Sweet, nice. The end finished well.
Yeah, and that lovely apricot at the very beginning was like that was
the smell
of it
was that was the best. Yeah, good cigar. You know why we didn't talk very much cigar? Because I don't know very much.
That's all right. That's all right. I think we try to make it interesting.
I very much enjoy smoking cigars. Every time I smoke a cigar, I'm like, I should do this more.
Who has the time, man? Who has the time?
Time I have. Inclination. You know what's great about cigars? It forces you to be in the moment.
That's true.
There is a thing of like it. I'm gonna bring it to ice. It's similar to ice cream.
Okay.
What I like about ice cream, it's very hard to eat ice cream and be on your phone.
Oh, good point.
Because you gotta be present. Cigars, you have to be present for. You can be on your phone. It's fine. You can read a book. Fine. Watch a show outside, maybe fine. But there's a presentness to it.
Yeah, if you want to really enjoy it.
Right.
I think so. Yes, agreed.
I think it's a very social activity. You know, when I like smoking cigars by myself on my porch, but I always enjoy it more with people around.
Yes. But I think when you do it by yourself, it's more about for me, it's more about a relaxation time, time of reflection. And then when you're with your friends, then it's about discussion.
I'll tell you what paired real nicely with that cigar.
Oh, yes. This batch. So these guys, they're finally making their own. Oh, they've always made their own, right?
Yeah.
They never brought juice from somewhere else. Is that correct?
Nope. So I remember the first batch they ever made, I went and bought a bottle and brought it with me directly to the Baltimore Bluegrass Festival. One of my favorite days of the year. And we vend there. And we only vend there because I have a great time and I want a place to like sit and drink whiskey.
Because everybody else is working. You're just kind of sipping.
Right. No, I mean, everyone else is having fun.
Okay.
And then the vendors are like hustling, but
No, I'm saying your staff is doing all the work.
yes,
You're just kind of
yes.
Everyone's doing a great job.
Everyone
Everyone's doing a
cool.
great job.
Let me go check the freezer. Right, drinking.
Here's some
whiskey.
sandwiches. Okay, good. Enjoy.
And man, I love that. It's such a great event. It's one of the when it came. There were certain events during quarantine when it came and passed. You're just like, oh,
yeah.
that was one for me. But I drank. Me and we were just sharing it with everybody, and we finished a bottle in probably 2 hours. And I was like, this is the best whiskey I've ever had. And
this is really good. This
took a while for them to get back to that level.
What changed for them? Do you
don't
think?
know. I don't know.
Was it because of their move?
I'm sure that's a part of it.
Okay.
They say that the whiskey they're making now will be their best whiskey they've ever made.
The stuff that's distilled.
But it's going to take. I mean, what an
It's
awful,
what, 2 years?
It's like 2 to 3 years. What an awful existence. Imagine that. You have to make a product and wait 2 to 3 years before it's ready to sell. You have to guess what the market will be like in 2 to 3 years.
Oh yeah, that's tough. That
sounds terrible.
But that's also the wine business too.
The wine business. But the wine business, no, the wine business is 1 year. Like it doesn't sit in the barrel more than one season.
I thought some of the reds they put for a couple of years.
Really?
I don't know. I'm not that. We'd have to ask Lucien about that.
Maybe Rusty will know. Rusty?
Or maybe Rusty has an answer for that.
For some reason, I feel like Rusty knows everything.
He does. Well, the chefs know it all. No?
Yeah.
I do want to know what Rusty. What's your favorite wine, if you have one? What is the favorite wine of yours? Do put it in the comments.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not really a rye fan, but this is
because usually it's
got a nice sweetness.
Yeah, it's got a nice sweetness. It goes down easy.
A lot of vanilla, even a little bit of smokiness.
They're such good. I mean,
here's something.
Pachuga. That's what it is. That's the liquor that they make that I've been enjoying.
The ones with the.
It has the ham in it.
The ham. Is that actually from Spain or something? Or
don't know.
Pachuga. We'll have to look that up.
But it is delicious with some sparkling water, lots of ice, pack a cup of sparkling water, a couple shots of Pachuga. That's been my drink of choice.
Oh, that sounds
quarantine drink of choice.
I might have to stop by there tomorrow.
Yeah, well, let me know. I got I got you.
Right on.
Favorite wine? I always. Yeah.
Big Zinfandel. Man, speaking of Zinfandels, when Woodbury first opened, Spike had this wine called the
Alvarinhos.
No. The Alvarinhos are excellent. The Alvarinhos, yes. But he had this old vine Zinfandel from Sonoma. It was called the Pezzi King.
Pezzi King. Oh my God, I know them.
Yeah. So Pezzi King. They don't actually. I went to Pezzi King the last time I was in Northern California, and they actually don't make this particular wine anymore. They make a whole.
Pezzi King is a great.
But the 2005 Pezzi King Old Vine Zinfandel, man, we drank every bottle at Woodbury that we could get our hands on. It was like every time we go, Pezzi King.
No, Sonoma County, you rent a car. You rent if you want to do it well. And I got a little.
You mean like a limo? Oh yeah.
I got a little trick out there for all you people watching. You ready for this?
Okay.
So they give tremendous industry discounts. So. What I would do if I was going, I would hit up my local Vista Print. I would print out 100 fake business cards of a fake winery and say I'm in the industry. You hand your business card off. You usually get your tasting for free.
Really?
It's playing the game a little bit. But
will that work in Europe?
I'm sure it would.
Because I've gone to a bunch of the wineries in Germany when I'm there. But again,
it gets expensive though. That's the problem. It's
it gets dangerous because I remember there's many a trip to Napa Valley, man, where it's like I probably shouldn't drive to the next winery.
So me and Laura and Christy, who now owns Foresight, we talked about. We called ourselves Weekend Family.
Okay.
And one day, every weekend, the three of us would just hit wineries up.
Oh.
And we switched off designated driver. And the designated driver would have to be very, very careful. A little sip here. No, sorry, I'm sorry. Oh, this one's delicious. Okay, I'll try that. But man, it was so fun. You come home at 5 o'clock, you're buzzed. You order some delicious Thai food. Watch a movie maybe. 8 o'clock in bed. Wake up fresh as a daisy because you're young.
You're young.
Oh.
All right, let's see what Rusty says. I'll make a deal with you next time I come down and bring one of my 1977 vintage ports with me. It's from my that would be excellent. That would be excellent. All right, let's do this. When you come down, Rusty, like, do you like dessert wines?
I love a nice port.
Okay, well, so he'll bring the port. I'll bring. I've got a 1976 Auslesen from Germany, man, in the half bottles. Man, I've had these for. Well, I'll bring that, man. I have no idea what it's like now.
And I'll bring the dessert.
No, absolutely awesome. All right, good.
You guys bring the dessert wine. I'll bring the.
Maybe
dessert.
We'll try to get Steve to come and bring some food.
Oh. Well, I'd be like, just bring like 25 milk skin tacos.
Oh my gosh, that'd be great. That'd be great. Yeah. So Rusty, one of our friends here. I think Rusty. Didn't you come to eat with us when we went to for Star Chefs a couple years ago? My friend Steve Monnier, he's got the restaurant here called Che Ugo, and he had Arome before that. We all went to a place called and there was a brasserie in I think it was in Seoul.
A bigger studio. No cameras.
Okay. Oh, why not? That'd be great, man. We'll get a bigger studio, no problem. But
then we can write it off as a business expense.
Exactly. So but Steve's got. So I was telling Steve's making. What,
50.
All right, Brian, good. But he makes. So Steve makes this thing. The milk skin. I haven't tried it. So tell us more about it with the milk skin taco.
Basically, just boils milk, reduces, and the skin becomes malleable.
Yeah, he's using that Arzak technique.
Right.
Is it Arzak? Yeah. I think it's Arzak that does it in Spain.
God, it was so good. We should hire him to just be like, okay, Steve, just make a Rome dinner for us.
Oh my God, that'd be great.
Because Che Hugo closed down, but I'm sure he can get us in. That would be
good. We should do that. All right, let Rusty come down. We'll ask Steve to do that. I mean, Steve, I know we talked about this earlier, but before you got on, Rusty, but Steve had this place called Rome, and several. Oh, there it is. Joan and Ralph was here. Yes, that's right. So Steve, I must have told you this, but Steve had that old place, Rome, and he actually would do like $65 6-course dinners.
Wow.
That were, I mean, we're talking like Keller and like Garnier level stuff. I mean, really, really like beautifully exquisite, composed, plated. I mean, just a steal, absolute steal. Best deal I used to say it was the best deal in America. Sadly, Baltimore had no idea, and just didn't appreciate it. So, yeah, unfortunately, the Che Ugo where you went, he actually, he did hear that, but he unfortunately he closed Hugo just recently. Did they actually close yet, or is it slated for closure?
Closed.
Oh man, that was actually the place that his bartender Maximo used to work for me.
Oh, I know.
Remember? So he has his bartender there, Maximo,
worked for me.
And so I had been chatting with Maximo a little bit online, and I said somewhere along the way, I said my first planned meal after COVID was going to be Hugo. Yeah, I'm so disappointed. So, did you get to try that duck he made? That one dip? Oh, that was good.
Never. Good. I went there for it and it was sold out.
Oh man, that was delicious.
Yeah. I feel like the thing about this whole time, you could tell from day one who was going to survive and who wasn't. And that was the businesses that pivoted. Che Hugo never pivoted. Che Hugo could have offered at home like more.
I think they did, didn't they? No.
But, they did, didn't they?
They did. I think the big problem for them is that
price point.
Well, the price point, but I think less factors is that location, man. I know I think from the beginning, they always kind of struggled because that part of Baltimore City, even though it's like deep in the business district, it's like
you're not
5 o'clock, people are gone, man.
and you're
It's
not gonna
so
get
hard.
people like people from the suburbs don't want to come down all that far.
They barely want to come to Hamden.
Right.
They're scared of the
It's not
crime,
even
scared of the
it's
parking.
just-
No,
it's
they're
just
scared. I mean, I hear it up here.
Yeah.
People are scared. They're like, oh, it's dangerous. And it's not dangerous. I go there every day.
Yeah. But I think even more than dangerous, it's just far. It's far. And parking, people like my parents are like, where would I park around there? I was like, dude, parking will take you a minute.
Oh, especially in that part of town.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, sometimes Petit Louis can be a little bit difficult.
Right. If they don't have parking in their little lot. I love that place.
Yeah, that's a good spot.
Top 3 martinis. Petit Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Prime Rib Bar. And Dylan's Oyster House.
Oh, Dylan's has good martinis? So do you like it shaken, stirred, or how do you like yours?
However they make me.
Okay.
I like Hendrix. I like any gin they recommend. Baltimore Spirit Company makes a really nice gin. And I like no olive juice, but I like blue cheese olives in it.
Blue cheese olives. So the blue cheese stuffed in the olives.
Not any olive juice in it.
Uh-huh.
I feel like that adds too much sweetness for me. I like some.
The only juice you want is what's ever like glistening on the skin.
And then I want a thin sheen of blue cheese on the top of my.
But still with the vermouth.
Yep, dry.
Dry. Okay. Oh.
No sweetness, dry. But
is there a preference for vodka?
Gin.
Oh, gin.
I'm a gin man. Hendrix I like, but Hendrix. Whatever they recommend.
Speaking of gin, do you do much of these like new like craft gins?
I think gin was kind of, cheap gin is one of the worst things in the world.
Right.
But good gin is delicious. I do like some of the craft gins. Dr. Val's is a really herbal, punch you in the mouth gin. But warm gin is disgusting.
Oh, I've never had that. How about what's that? Was that the Hat? What's the Hat gin? The one in the square bottle? The one I made in DC?
Yes.
Have you tried that?
Remember. Yes. Very nice.
So where would you say Bombay Sapphire is in that spectrum?
I never really get Bombay Sapphire as a martini, but it has fine memories for me.
Oh, yeah.
Like the people I know that drank it were like supporters of Bombay Sapphire only.
I'm one of the. I'm kind of in that category. I don't really know anything about gin other than Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah,
I admit I'm a charlatan in that respect. I'm a charlatan.
I do a lot of so I've kind of I haven't stopped drinking beer, but beer holds less of an appeal for me lately.
Oh yes, okay.
It just feels heavy.
Yes.
So if I go to a bar, I won't order a beer. I'll order a gin and tonic. Love gin and tonics, just because they're light and easy to drink.
Yeah, that lime. For me, the Sapphire tonic with lime. Oh, that's sublime.
Carlos has hyped me.
Made you hip to it.
He puts a very tiny splash. Yes, for a very tiny splash of cranberry
in the gin and tonic.
Interesting.
Interesting. Is that a Mexican thing?
He likes to call it the Carlos. I don't know what that means, but of course he does.
Do you know if they do sangria at their place?
What's
here
sangria?
We go. Well, hold on a second. I remember. So Rusty says, I remember a gin from a while back that I enjoyed with Hendrix. Tanqueray with Rancor lime. Oh, that's. Tanqueray is good.
But they do a drink now that has been my favorite there, which is Topo Chico, lime, mezcal, and a salted rim.
Oh, that sounds good.
Clean, nice.
Yeah.
Because there are margaritas or mezcalitas there. You have one or two, and it'll just knock you, and it'll hurt you the next morning.
Is most of that driven by Carlos or more by Lane?
So Lane is all beverages.
Yeah.
And Carlos is all food.
Okay. Though sangrita is it's kind of like a tomato juice based or tomato based chaser for tequila. Like when I started going to Mexico, that's what we would be drinking, like tequila with sangrita.
Ooh.
And it's really a beautiful pairing. Like you, even with like the most beautiful of all the fine like tequilas.
It's like, so you don't mix them.
No, you shoot.
Interesting.
You shoot. You sip and sip,
Sip and sip.
sip.
Interesting.
Do you do much tequila?
That's been my other COVID. I've been doing El Bujo Mezcal.
El Bujo Mezcal. What's that? Is that the name of the
brand?
mezcal? Oh, I haven't tried that.
Really nice. I think it's the rail liquor they use at Clavel.
Clavel,
And then another mezcal, and the Pachuca has a mezcal essence to it
with ham in it.
Yeah,
that's just so fascinating.
So you don't get any real ham. It just adds like a salt note, maybe.
No, but I think that's right. Well,
but I got to eat the ham from the Pachuca.
Oh, so it's kind of like the worm in the.
It's very so it's incredibly salty.
Oh.
And it's very like chewy.
How thick is it?
I mean, they tore me off a little piece.
Oh, okay. Rusty says he doesn't think they make the Rangpur lime anymore.
Oh, really?
I think that's what he means.
Ooh, that sounds good though. We'll have to make our own. Speaking
of ham, you know what I've been thinking about lately? Like, you know, we do a lot of eating of like, you know, Sant'Agnello and, you know, from Italy or Iberico from Spain. But what I've been thinking about recently is like, maybe we need to experiment more with Virginia. That old, hard, like salted ham
with,
from
the
Virginia.
Lines in it.
yeah. Like I wonder, like, you know, I've never really explored that too much, but I'm thinking that maybe we should be. I've been thinking like we should get into that, or I don't. And I remember we used to play a little bit with the Bentons. From Tennessee.
And they make the great bacon.
Oh, they make great bacon. Great bacon.
Wine Source has a great rosemary ham.
Yeah.
Have you
American ham or
American?
Okay.
Have you explored their meat section at all?
Oh yeah.
It's great.
I'm getting guanciale there all the time now.
Nice.
Because I like to make carbonara. When I'm kind of don't have anything to make, so
carbonara.
I keep some bucatini and some pappardelle at home, and just. Speaking of which, did you see that guy Evan Funky? He's that guy in LA who makes the pasta with the stick.
Okay.
I was at my cousin's house one time, and he was like, "Have you seen this documentary?" And basically, he's making handmade pasta. He's rolling out with this massive pin, and he's making the shapes by hand. No dyes, no extrusions, no imperial.
Oh, weird.
I mean, it looks amazing. I'm like, oh my God, man. I'm actually trying to get one of our friends in Italy to ship us some of these rolling pins, to source them and send them out to us.
Dibs. I call one.
All right. I'll let you know where to get them. Oh, Tony, one of Tony's customers drinks that regularly too. I guess the Tanqueray.
The Tanqueray.
Oh, the Tanqueray has the Rangpur lime in it. Oh, that's right. Sorry,
like,
I'm thinking Tanqueray as a drink mix. Oh, got it.
It's a good rye.
It is a good. I'm actually drinking more than I probably should. It's very smooth, without ice, without anything.
This is their best version in a while. It's a cool bottle too. They probably pay a lot for this, don't they?
I can only imagine. My goodness. What's the name of the guy that runs the place?
So it's Max and Eli. Eli is on production. Max is on the business end.
Max is a tall, skinny guy
with like blonde hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
tall, skinny redhead.
I can't remember. Yeah. What is the Baltimore whiskey? Let me see here. Baltimore whiskey.
Spirit Company. They changed.
Ian. Wasn't there a guy named Ian there?
Ian, right.
Is he still with them?
He's still with them. He's never been full-time. He has a full-time job as well.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if he's still.
Because years ago, when they were still at their other location, Ian and I were talking about doing a cognac-ish kind of thing.
Ooh.
Because I tried to make wine years ago. Like Tony was part of this whole thing where we were making wines, and I had this one run. I got cases of it. And I was thinking, wow, I haven't drank any of this. Maybe we should like distill it. And even he was like, yeah, we could do that. I was like, okay, we should do that. But I never really connected with him.
When Rusty comes, we'll drink some.
Okay, very good. It may not be very good though.
I have a port.
White wine.
I have a port that we made probably 20 years ago.
How did you make the port?
Well, I didn't make it. Christy and Joe, who own Foresight, were like, "What do you want for your birthday? What type of wine?" I was like, "Port." But then they added too much something or another.
The brandy?
Something was off with it. So we've let it sit for 20 years. So we'll see how it does.
Maybe I'll be. So one of the first batches that Tony and I did with another friend of ours, we got these grapes from California. I think they were Cabernet grapes. We're going to make this. We had the whole we're Mondavi kind of idea, right? And so we're pressing these grapes. We're like fermenting them. We're leaving them on the lees. And then we're filtering it and and then barrel aging it, right?
Sounds like a lot of work.
Well, we sugared it, right, to bring the pH, the Brix level. Well, our calculations were way off. So this thing fermented like an angry, like
drunk.
Oh my gosh, it was so angry, right? So when we finally finished it, because basically the sugar content was so high that after a while it just killed off the yeast. Right? So this thing, it's not fortified like port, but it's kind of that sweetness. I remember when we were, this is 20 years ago.
Another 40
I remember
years.
I remember being kind of enjoyable.
Give it 40 years.
Yeah, wait another 20 years and then give it a try. I was here. Tony says he drank his and it's very port-like now. And then Rusty, mom one time fermented coffee beans into port. Whoa, that would be interesting. Fermented coffee. You mean coffee like with the mucilage as just processing, or that's what you mean, right? That would be interesting. What I'm trying to do right now, and actually one of my growers, my friends, he's a producer in Nicaragua, and I think for you guys who are watching, I think I said this last week with Al, is that I've been trying to convince him for the last several years to let's go source used rum barrels from Florida Caña, because it's in Nicaragua. And then let's do the fermentation of the coffee in the processing stages in the barrels. So he emailed me like maybe 2 months ago. He's like, I'm doing it. And I was like, finally, after 4 or 5 years of me trying to get you to do this. So hopefully it'll come out, and she soaked it in port rather than, that's interesting.
That sounds really interesting.
That'd be good.
I would drink that.
Absolutely. All right. I think that's good for this week. Yeah, because we're pushing almost 3 hours. Thanks for tuning in. And all that. So like I said, we're coming up with, over the next 3-4 weeks, we're going to be doing the Bombay Tobacco MS Stili Torpedo, the Stolen Thrones Call to Arms Sumatra Corona, then the Rocky Patel World Championship Mareva, and then finally the 17th, the Stolen Throne Crook of the Crown Robusto. And so Raul does have all that at the moment. And this is the SP52 of the Abe Flores Excellent Cigar. That's available. Tony has it in his shop. But also, I just found out that Thompson Cigar has this box of 24. It's normally like $275 a box. They had it for $105.
20. Oh.
I was like, what? $104? I was like, All right, so that's pretty much it. Thanks for tuning in.
May I?
Yes, of course.
Do me a favor. Like, subscribe. There's a bell right here. Hit that bell so that you know when we come on.
There you go.
Please visit Spro. Visit the Chamery. Support your local small businesses. Hit that bell.
All right. Have a good one. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next time. Next Thursday, 8 o'clock.
Special guest.
We clear? We clear? We clear? Oh,